welcome to the LOUDLABS show. On today's episode,
there are two armed gunmen walking down the street in the middle of the night.
You do nothing.
You do nothing. I want you to stand down.
I'm your police officer.
24 people were arrested overnight. All this after violent protests broke out Wednesday night after video surfaced showing the off-duty LAPD officer firing his gun.
In the neighborhood, there's gangs, that do these drug cook-offs.
That's nasty. Chemicals are the worst. Those hazmat guys are complete pros.
Approximately 22:30 hours, LAFD responded to a unknown chemical investigation at the corner of 23rd and Normandy. Upon our arrival, we ended up finding 3 55-gallon containers with an unknown substance. We notified LAPD hazmat and concluded what type of substance we were dealing with.
What we've determined so far is a PCP dump site of chemicals. After they finish completing their cook, they will come out and just dump it in locations wherever they can find, anywhere that's kind of quiet area where no one's around, and just dump it and drive away.
hello and welcome to episode 8. Thank you, Terry, for filling in. Much appreciated. I am Scott Lane. That is Todd Betts. Here with me is, what are you? Are you Dearborn, the machine? You just Dearborn, you're Scott. What are you?
Here we go.
You're Scott. And we got Terry the Great. And we also have here in the studio with us today, he is hands down the smartest man in this room. White 90. Why you gotta fuck up my shit? He here in the studio with us today is... He is hands down the smartest man in this room.
And the shortest.
When White 90 has a life question, this is the man he calls. He is a father, a husband, a hero, a surfer, and one of LAPD's finest. It gives me a great honor and privilege to introduce LAPD officer Jason. Dude!
What's up, Jay?
Hey, kids.
What up, bud?
What's happening?
We're going to talk about you later. But right now, we're going to...
Fair.
We're going to talk right now.
Just sit back and hold tight.
Okay, I'm in.
Right now, we're going to talk about what it is you just saw. You just witnessed a little cool edit by Dearborn here, and Todd shot it. And Todd, go ahead and explain what it is, why I roll the raw.
So, yeah, I was telling Jason earlier, this is on 23rd and Normandy, and I get this call where there's a hazmat dump on the street. And normally, like I said, we don't go to, we always, when it's a hazmat call, it depends on how interesting it'll be. And I was the only one out that night. Scotty wasn't out yet, so I drive up to it, and LAPD and LAFD are sitting there they got those 3 barrels taped off there. And
right.
Basically, I got there, and the fire captain told me, he's like, "This is what we're dealing with." He goes, "This is from a PCP cook-off." I'm like, "No way!" And then LAPD, the guy I know from Southwest Division, he was really cool, and he let me stay and get closer into the scene. And usually you get kicked out when it's especially chemicals and hazmat. They don't want anybody around, so
get upwind.
Yeah. So he basically he filled me in on what was going on, and he goes, "Now check."
Were you tripping out when you saw stuff like that? You're
Yeah.
like, are they going scuba diving?
Yeah, no, exactly. And that one guy right there, the Asian fellow, I recognized him from that. Remember that house that got tented up and they had the break-in on? Yeah.
Yes.
He recognized me too, and he's like, "Hey man, what's up?" And I'm like, "So, is it okay if I shoot you?" And I shot the equipment in his truck, and these guys are all really cool. But back to what was happening was he's telling me that this is like there's a in the neighborhood, there's gangs, that do these drug cook-offs,
right?
And this is the remnants from the cook-off, which they have to get rid of. And he goes, or normally what they do is they just, they leave it where they did the cook, and then they leave. He goes, this is not unusual, but he goes, it is kind of unusual that they drag this out to the corner of Normandy and 23rd.
Yeah, that's like residential. You would think they would go to industrial or something.
Right. You know, and so I'm saying there was a house, there's an apartment building complex right on the corner, and so obviously I think they were the ones that made the phone call because it smelled so bad, you know.
Right.
But so having you here, I was just going to ask you. I mean, look at this is some serious stuff. You know, they had.
That's nasty. Chemicals are the worst. You know, those hazmat guys are complete pros. Between those guys and the bomb squad, there's no more professional.
Yeah, no, they take their time. They're meticulous on what's going on, and they comb through everything.
It's nasty stuff. I mean, you never know what you're dealing with, especially if this stuff mixes with something else. It could just get in the air and turn into poison gas. I mean, there are some pretty intricate things. Like there are people that commit suicide with chemicals, and they'll tape off their entire bathroom, put a big warning sign in the front door saying, "Chemical suicide, beware."
No way.
That's courteous.
It's really
weird?
courteous. It's strange,
Yeah.
you know,
That's weird.
that there's some altruism still left in someone that's so depressed and hurting, and they just want
Sure.
to end it. So what they'll do is they'll sit in a bathtub and mix two chemicals together and breathe that gas in, and in 30 seconds,
Wow.
they're
No
gone.
kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You've seen a couple of those go like
That's
that?
real quick.
I've seen pictures of the scene. I've never been
To the scene.
to the scene.
But you've heard it does happen.
Oh,
like
it does
this.
happen. Yeah, it's
So-
awful.
So back to so anyway, so I was sitting there talking with the Southwest Division officer, and him and his partner, and he was like, this is kind of bad, and I'm like, well, what do you mean it's kind of bad? Because another thing, no competition for me was showing up to this because it came out as a hazmat. It came out as a hazmat call, and then what kind of sparked my interest is that you could hear LAFD call for the chemical response team, you know, and the LAPD chemical response team. And so then I kind of was like, okay, so something's going on over here. But as soon as that call comes out, and then when all the units get there, then it's kind of a hush quiet, and they don't come over the radios no more. Or if they do, it's like in code, or it's a private phone call, or whatever they do. So I didn't really have any competition, so it was kind of nice because I didn't feel like I had to beat anybody out or get another shot. But the Southwest Division guy was telling me, he's like, check this out. See what's going on here? And these Suburbans would drive by with full of dudes in the cars just like eyeing us, the situation, and the hazmat guys looking over. And he goes, those dudes are probably the guys that are part of this, you know, this gang that did the cook-off. And now they're driving by to see what we're doing about the chemicals, you know, and seeing if there are any rival gang members or the guys that made this batch of PCP or
Right.
you know, or coming or going and seeing what's going on. So it was it was a little bit eerie after he told me that about, like, you know, then because now you had your, you know, head on a swivel watching every car drive by, you know, and so the chemicals. Then what happens next is you see the LAPD chemical guys come, and now they're pulling out the white barrels out of the big trash barrels. And so when the one guy comes back and they went to a little powwow, I kind of snuck my camera in right over there, and the fire captain was like, hey man, he's like, just hang on a second, hold back, because they wanted to do a little debriefing about what was going on.
Right.
As soon as that happened, then they broke up, and I went and talked to the gentleman from the LAPD hazmat squad, and he goes, oh yeah, he goes, dude, this is some of the purest PCP I've ever, in my 20 years, he said, of working this detail, he goes, this is some of the purest chemical PCP I've ever come on a scene to figure out what's going on.
Way to go, LA. Way to go.
Well, thank you, Google.
Yeah.
You know what's weird about this is I've been doing this job 17 years, and I've seen the fire hazmat team hundreds of times.
Yeah.
I think I've seen LAPD hazmat twice, and that's both in his videos. I don't think I've ever come across him in one of my scenes. He's been doing this 2 years now?
Yeah.
And he's seen him already twice, and the same guy twice.
Yeah.
It's just a.
That's
it's
crazy.
weird to see the LAPD hazmat. Usually you see fire hazmat. It's not often you see LAPD hazmat.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. I was saying too. You know, I mean, I had never seen. I know from, you know, working with Scott and his videos. LAFD has their hazmat guys, and I've seen their truck. But this blue truck that they had, and these guys that pulled up, these guys, I mean, they were straight up like, you know, in street clothes and flannels, and they just put the gas masks on their boots, and they went over there after the LAPD initial team showed up.
Right.
This other team.
On something like this, are they able to tell how much that made?
How much PCP? I'm sure
that
they
made just by what was there. I mean, obviously there's no PCP there, but there's stuff there. Do they know like, okay, this much stuff they probably made this much? What I'm trying to get at is a street value. Is
Well,
anything told to you?
No, they didn't. I wasn't told any type of street value.
God knows. I mean, I've been out of the game for so long. I didn't know PCP was back. It was a big thing in the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
I think it's
You know,
called
it's-
something else, but to us it's PCP or
Right.
angel dust, or I think it's shrooms, sherming.
Sherm?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, PCP was a
I've been
liquid,
out of the drug game
like
for a while, you know.
liquid chemical type thing. You dip. Remember Super Cools?
Yeah,
They dip
yeah.
cool cigarettes in them and dry them out and then smoke
That's
them.
the sherm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's strange drug, man. You see a guy on PCP, you could tell how he walks, just his gait.
Yeah.
It's like he's walking on clouds, very soft,
Very.
easy, cool. It's supposed to be a bitching feeling until
So
they get
they
pissed
say.
off.
So they say. Yeah,
And-
and then it takes 10 of you guys to take one down, right?
Yeah, it's insane.
But here's the car. Here's the chemical, the response truck that I'd never seen before yet either. And this thing has every gadget on it, man. Where do they park that truck at, Jay? Do they?
They have a place in Hollenbeck area, East LA. They have their own station. But yeah, they'll bring that out whenever. You know, it's pretty easy for the fire department to say, this is some criminal activity or some nefarious stuff going on. So,
Right. So
Look at the gear this guy gets to play with in life,
Right. So
I
basically,
know they get to dress up like that.
and wear a gun.
You had plenty of time in your career to play dress up. Plenty of time in your career to play dress up. But but you said something like this is criminal. After LAFD kind of figures out what's going on with their hazmat team and their guys, this is criminal activity. So
Exactly.
So LAPD has to get called in on
Right.
something like this.
Yeah, and then they'll conduct an investigation, and they'll deem it, something's not right about that. Definitely, I mean, chemicals in these trash cans in a neighborhood like that. I mean, that just doesn't happen.
Right, and the
You
guy,
know-
the guy I got sound from, the guy that was that showed up with this crew right here, he was telling me that he goes, this happens way more often than you think. He goes, but they normally will just do it in alleyways or in a park that's got a deep field in the back. They'll drag it out there and dump it and walk. And I'm like, well, what's the point of like why can't they just leave it where they're at? He goes, well, sometimes it's a residence where they made the shit, and they can't, they don't want it obviously sticking around where someone's living and stuff like that.
This is free disposal.
Right, and I mean it's free disposal, and by the tax, not free, because now the taxpayers are paying for LAPD to come out and handle this.
Nothing free, friend.
Nothing free. So
That's crazy.
So yeah, that gets us pretty much out of that, right? Anything else you want to talk about when it comes to that, Todd?
no,
When it comes to that. All right, so this show is going to be LAPD heavy. Right now, we have a story involving a LAPD officer. He got into a little situation in Anaheim, and that's what Victor is covering. So, Victor's package, go.
Right now it is calm, and now crews have been cleaning up the mess left over from the protests. Let me show you one of the many homes vandalized along this block. Windows shattered, graffiti sprayed against walls and garages, even a truck keyed. Now some believe this is the home of the officer, but we have not confirmed that. 24 people were arrested overnight. All this after violent protests broke out Wednesday night after video surfaced showing the off-duty LAPD officer firing his gun. And this is the video of what appears to show the officer pulling on the 13-year-old boy's sweater for several minutes, later being shoved by another boy. The officer draws a gun out of his waistband and fires a single shot.
Why did he point a gun at his face? He would have just actually just talked to him like another cop would.
Now the boy was later arrested and taken to juvenile hall where he spent the night for allegedly making criminal threats. Now all morning, friends of the boy walking to school have been speaking out, describing him as a nice and outgoing person.
He makes all our friends laugh. And
He's nice, respectful, he's kind, he has no issues, nothing. He's a real good friend.
Again, 24 people arrested after clashing with police and vandalizing random homes along the block. Now all morning, Anaheim police have been here going in and out of homes, conducting their investigation, picking up evidence and taking pictures. Back here now, crews have finished washing up the graffiti along several homes. Meanwhile, LAPD's use of force division is investigating the incident. Now, as for the officer, he has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. In Anaheim, I'm Victor Park for LOUDLABS News.
So thank you so much, Victor. As usual, your package was big and great. Much appreciated. Thank you, Victor.
Scotty has a thing with Victor's package.
I have a real big thing with Victor's package. I love Victor's package.
Yeah.
Actually, Victor is the breakout star of the show, is he not? Right? I mean, you've seen it a couple times. Victor's the man.
Yeah.
And thank you,
He's
Victor.
got a long segment.
No, it's a long package. It's a long package.
No.
All right.
Yeah, what are you rewriting his stuff? Come
Let
on.
me punch it up.
He's
Come on.
fine.
All right, so thank you, Victor. And in the studio with us is an LAPD officer, so we're going to get his opinion on things. He might not be able to talk about everything, but he's definitely going to talk about stuff. Just a real quick here, just to reiterate what we just saw with Victor, this gentleman right here lives in the city of Anaheim. He is an off-duty LAPD officer. He did not appreciate these kids walking on his lawn, I think is how it started. And then they got into a yelling match, and the kid said he's going to sue you, but the officer said he heard shoot you, so he detained him. And as he was trying to detain him, his buddies weren't having it. And at some point, dude in the red backpack pushes the off-duty officer, and then the off-duty officer, fearing for his life, pulls his weapon.
So he's got it on him. I mean, he's holding. He's got it on him now, right?
Well, don't they all, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, a lot should.
But what I'm saying.
Oh, by the way, you're going to see an old man in this video. That is the LAPD officer's father.
Here it is. They
So he just pushed
bum
him right
rushed the
there.
cop. Wow. See, that's.
And now this is where it happens. Here it is.
Okay, he's not. Well,
He wants the. Ooh, that guy swung on him.
Now,
And that's when he said, "All right, that's enough. Here it comes."
Here it comes. Got the fucking handgun out.
Yeah. So I mean, Victor's package is one thing, and now we're going.
He's having a little
through
hard, but he's having a little hard time. They're getting the white tee
There
up
it is.
over it.
So
Wow. So
yeah, and now the kids run. They saw the gun and they all ran.
Well, that's when the shot was fired.
I don't know where the shot was fired.
It was right. That's when they started running.
Okay.
The shot, yeah.
All right.
So he did fire around.
Yeah, he did fire a round into the air.
Is that legal for? I mean, right? For citizens, it's illegal to fire a gun into the air or into, right? I mean,
right? Yeah,
but
that is legal.
That is legal.
It is legal. Yeah, it's a warning shot.
Warning shot. What you guys call it, a warning shot. All right.
Right.
All right. I like it. So wow. So what do you think of that? I mean,
That's heavy, man. I hope he advised those kids that he was a cop, because he's essentially effecting an arrest, whatever the thing is. And what those kids are doing, trying to get him away from the officer, is lynching. If you look at the penal code, now, and he's trying to protect his prisoner.
And that's his dad right there calling the cops. That's his father right there with the cane. He's calling the cops. But this incident, people were upset. And then this video came out. And then when the video came out, people went to protest, riot. And we have footage of that, which you just saw in Victor's package. We don't need to go through it. We just saw it. But that 24 juveniles were arrested because of it. They graffitied his house and ruined his truck. Now, if this is you, are you moving? You got to stand your ground, but everybody knows where you live. What do you do?
I'd split.
Yeah?
I don't know. It's a strange thing. Like, I'm not that type. I'm not confrontational. I don't want it. I want to protect my family. I just want to get out of there. I want to live in peace.
And what's the original thing? He got pissed because they were on his lawn?
Yeah, but this isn't the first time he's had problems with them, and I think the old man lawn thing is just getting played out of proportion. I think it goes deeper. Like, he knows this.
Yeah, I mean,
every week.
let's find out exactly what was going on before we make any broad brush assumptions. It's quick to do that. It's easy to go on video and go, what's he doing? What's going on? But we're not in his brain, and we're not there.
So this guy, I mean, as an LAPD officer, this guy's probably not in trouble. He's just, he's been talked to by his supervisors about this.
Well,
obviously.
he's on paid leave, I believe. Is that true?
I don't know if he's on paid leave.
I believe he's on paid leave.
They have started an investigation.
Yes.
And I'm sure they're going to ask for all this video and all that stuff.
Right.
It's all over the place.
Right.
By the way, can we just have the kids film in landscape mode instead of?
Thank you.
We need to have a class
right?
in
Thank
school
you
for that.
Huh?
I tell people that all the
Listen,
time, and I'm a cameraman.
You're
So that's why I
millennial.
care, but from a non-cameraman, for you to care, thank you.
The millennials need a
What's the deal with that?
they need a class
it's
on how
Instagram.
to film,
Stupid.
right?
It's the
So
Instagram
stupid.
format.
Oh, but right, yeah. Then it's also it's there's a thing
Probably
with
Snapchat, too.
Periscope and all that stuff.
Yeah, but this is an
Periscope.
11-minute video, so there's no. You're not.
Does Periscope film landscape?
Periscope does.
Yeah. See, it's not everybody. You know, it's
This is a problem with kids today, Toddy.
So I mean, that's pretty much
the problem with kids.
The police show up, and then I'll show you where the cops show up at, because it's not that often you see an LAPD
would you
officer
handle
raise his
something like
hands in
that,
the air.
man?
And
You
you'll
don't
see-
go out
you'll
there
see him
like
grab
that.
the gun.
I mean,
Well, everybody's different.
no, I know,
I
but I mean,
mean-
it just seems like that's the problem with the PR that the policing departments get. Like, you know, as soon as something like this happens, it just seems like, you know, this guy, you know, it looks like,
They're like, put your hands up.
depending on what happened and what side you're on of this thing.
Right.
And if you don't have all the info, you just have these videos. What it looks like is that like I said, and that's all anybody goes off of. What it looks like is this guy came out, was yelling at these kids. They yelled back. He grabbed a hold of one of them, dragged him through bushes, and then got bum rushed by his friends. And he goes, "Fuck it." Now I'm pulling the gun out. So he looks like he's the aggressor.
Well, he got swung on, and then another dude came around from the side. So I mean, he was fearing for his life, even though they are teenagers. But I've been around enough things to know that more is better than one.
Dad. That's what I'm saying. This grown man is dragging this kid through the hedges, and
What we don't see though is what happened before this video. That's what we don't.
That's
see.
what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what the look of this, what it looks like to everybody, you know, nationwide, globally, is that this guy had a little bit of, there was obviously some sort of confrontation, and now this guy's dragging a little teenager through hedges. All his friends are just a pack mentality, trying to, you know, help their friend, and then the old white cop just goes, "Fuck it," go into gun mode, you know, and then.
Right. Well, you don't
It
know. I
escalates
mean,
from there.
can you hear what happened? I mean, did he announce that he's a police officer? Because
That's a good
that
point.
makes a difference.
Yeah, it does make it, right?
Well, you couldn't
There's
tell
a-
by his looks. I mean, look, he looked like an LAPD officer.
Yeah, we have a look.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel bad for the officer. You know, I'll tell you what. In this day and age, I'm done apologizing for cops. Like, our job is tough enough as it is. If anybody has a problem with it, you're welcome to get hired on the police department, go complete an 18-month probationary period, and see how well you do. We all like to kind of quarterback after the fact, and it's completely unfair.
Sure. No, I agree. I agree with that statement as well. Scotty and I, like we've said many times on the show here, that we do see every night to night what it's like and what you guys have to go through out there, and it's probably the hardest. It's one of the hardest jobs in the city to go out and do successfully and get home every night to what, you know, your loved ones.
Right, and let me make it clear, like, we're not without sin, but the LAPD, I could speak for, has made huge strides. in
Every
bettering
night,
themselves.
I praise you guys for not killing somebody. I've said it on the show once before. You have an opportunity to kill somebody every night, and you don't, which is amazing, because what we see going on in the country, LAPD can be that every single day, but they don't.
Right.
You guys are doing it right. And we've always talked about, we can't be on the side of good guys, bad guys. We have to be on the side of what's right and what's wrong. And LAPD does wrong things, but one thing they do right is they don't kill somebody every night.
No.
And they have the opportunity. I mean, I see guns
The
every single
opportunity.
night.
I think you're using the word that wrong. Wrong. You're
Okay,
putting
maybe
that-
I am. There's.
But no, absolutely right, Jason.
Your training helps.
You guys have
Training
made
helps.
Training helps, but the LAPD has made great strides to become better officers and protect the citizens of the city.
Right.
Hasn't it? I mean, from the Daryl Gates days, right, and Rampart days, and
A lot's changed. I mean, our training's gotten better. You know, since Rodney King, we've gotten better tools to use, like the tasers and pepper spray and
Rubber bullets.
Rubber bullets.
Yeah,
or
you guys
the
love them rubber bullets now.
beanbag shotguns.
Yeah.
Like, they work. That stuff works, and a lot less people are dead because of those things. You know, I don't know what's next. I don't know what people expect police to do. Police work is ugly. It doesn't look pretty. It's not like the movies.
Freeze! Put your hands up.
Right. Let's shoot him in the hand. Let's shoot him in the leg. That kind of stuff. It just doesn't work.
How come that doesn't work? How, you know, because when we see that kind of I have always wondered, like, you know, when there's a guy with a screwdriver, whether it's this city or Baltimore or Dallas,
Right.
or, you know, you guys are, you know, you guys do go practice, you know, shooting, right? You guys are, you know, you're supposed to be better trained than your regular citizen, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
well, maybe not, but like, how come you? I mean, but police officer, you guys are you shoot to kill. Like when it gets down to that point, and
No, shoot to stop.
Shoot to stop.
Yeah.
I like that. But shoot to stop, chest wound, shoot like head, chest. I mean, you guys have
Center
areas.
mass. Center mass.
Center
Yeah.
mass, right? That's where
Could be the head sometimes, and stop does mean death, or shut them down. But I have a knife to your mom's throat. Do you want me to? Do you want me to hit it? Shoot his hand?
Yeah, leg wound maybe. No,
I could shoot his hand and
Right.
maybe hit your mom.
Right. No, I hear you saying. Yeah.
And by the way, that's another challenge I have for the good citizens. Go out and fire a weapon. Go to the range and shoot a gun and see how difficult
There's
it
a lot
is.
more people doing that these days, especially getting ready for the zombie apocalypse. Like some people are.
It's coming.
No, well, whether it is or not, there's some
Have you
people
been
that
on
there's some people that are training for it. Like it's
Six
coming.
and wall at midnight?
Oh, I guess yeah, and that's next week's conversation, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's next week's conversation. So I'm going to stop it right here before we get into the conversation with Officer Jason, and we're going to check out our sponsors right now. And go. Obey Imaging Supplies, Inc. Family owned and operated, located in the beautiful city of Huntington Beach, California. They offer original equipment, manufactured toner, and new compatible laser inkjet toner for all makes and models. They also carry all Fuser maintenance kits, drums, micro toner, and any accessories pertaining to your printing supplies. When it comes to your toner needs, call Obey Imaging Supplies, Inc. Call Obey Imaging Supplies, Inc. today at 877-535-6239 or check them out online, obeyimaging.com.
Market Fixtures Unlimited, the premier choice for all your supermarket and restaurant equipment needs. For over 50 years, Market Fixtures Unlimited has been serving the wonderful state of California, Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico. Whether you're looking for a brand new range to spruce up your restaurant's kitchen or a refurbished refrigerator unit for your supermarket, we can get all those products that you need. Let Market Fixtures Unlimited help you take your business from what it is now to what you know it's capable of being. Give Brian a call, 562-803-5553, or go to their website and check them out at marketfixturesunlimited.net.
Next up, we have Pedal Perfect. For all your flower needs and wants, call Pedal Perfect. They do it all. Weddings, parties, corporate events, you name it, call Pedal Perfect. Pedal Perfect offers local delivery in the Los Angeles and Orange County areas. Call Pedal Perfect at 562-631-6478 or connect with them on Facebook, or you can check them out on Instagram, pedal_perfect. Thanks, people. Now let's get to this conversation. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you. And get a hold of us if you want to help out.
Help out.
Yeah, help out with the bills.
Yeah, help out with some
help
bills,
out-
people.
Or product. Todd likes, what do you like? Sunflower seeds. I like energy drinks.
Right. We were looking for sunflower seed sponsor, energy drink sponsors, boots. Like your regular boots would be good. We like to wear boots while we work. So yeah, get a hold of us.
Auto parts store. Tires.
We're not hard to find. Give
Yep.
us a call and we'll get you. We'll have a meeting and we'll get some sponsors rolling here.
Call FEMA. Got some extra
FEMA.
stuff.
FEMA.
So
Call FEMA.
All right, Todd. All you, buddy.
All right, so today we have on the show today is a old friend of mine that I went to high school. I know it kind of seems like we're having a lot of friends.
Well, here's the thing. I was talking to him about. So we've had the mayor Pookie on.
Yeah.
We've had Miller on. We've had you, and so it looks like James Hatfield and the Carpenters aren't the only thing to come out of Downey.
That's right.
Right? I mean, you guys are making your mark. That class of what?
91.
That class
kid.
of 91 has made their mark in the city, or as Pookie, in the country. I mean, you guys have spread out. You guys were a close knit, and you went this way, and now you're back this way. It's really cool.
Yeah. So anyway, we are. It seems like we're just using our network of friends to to kind of fill guests on the show, but. With this guest, he happens to be an LAPD officer, and he's kind of involved in what we do on a night-to-night basis, and we see each other. I mean, I don't see Jason while I'm working, but this is why we're having the conversation. So, Jason is here joining us, and Jason used to work for when you went to as soon as you got out of training. Let's start there. When you got out of training for being a police officer. Where did you go? Why did you start?
In what year?
In what year did you start training?
So in 1994, I started getting an inkling for a real job. I was working at Downey Music, musician at night,
Yeah.
teaching saxophone, like really hustling and trying to make some money. And the $180 I was making a week just wasn't cutting it for rent and, just a lot of mac and cheese and working late nights at the bars.
Yeah.
I was over it. So a lot of our guys in our crew were going for the fire department. We had friends like Steve Miller and Brad Brown, and they were really pushing for that. So I thought, well, I could be a firefighter. I wouldn't mind doing that. Every kid wants to be a fireman. So
As a kid, did you want to be a police officer?
no.
Okay. I was wondering that. Now I know.
No.
Thank you.
I had an inkling to help people, but as a police officer, no. I wanted to be a fireman.
Okay.
So in the 90s, there was the affirmative action thing going around. It was real heavy then. And I got laughed out of the Downey Fire Station because I was white.
Right.
They just weren't hiring white guys anymore. They said, good luck, pal, whatever. So I come to L.A., I check the apps here. They weren't hiring white guys either. So somebody's,
They weren't hiring white guys.
my ex-wife at the time, she was interested in getting on the job as well. So her dad was a cop. And I started thinking about it. Maybe I could do this. This is a good thing. And, it was a perfect storm of circumstances. People around me, the bass player in my band wanted to be a cop. He was going to go take the test. I went with him, and then my ex-wife was applying for the department, and here I go. Why not me?
Yeah.
So I applied for the department
1994.
in 1994, and I go take the test at LAPD.
And it's a written test before you can walk on to go to the academy to then become a cop.
Yeah.
So what does the written test involve? Is it an aptitude test
Yeah.
or a general knowledge test?
General knowledge, just making sure you could write a paragraph, with
Ooh,
a decent
that'd be
format.
tough for me. Right? Run on sentences?
Listen, no, this is how you write a paragraph. You tell them what you're going to tell them, then you tell them what you told them.
Got it. I'll remember that. Right.
You never ever forget it.
Right. Tell them what you're going to tell them.
Then tell them.
Then tell them, and then tell them what you told them. Got it. That's good. Kids, when you
MIT, are you listening?
Huh? We're gonna get
Straight to Oxford. Go, Toddy. You got this, buddy.
I'm smart. I know stuff.
SMRT.
Yeah.
I'm smart.
I know stuff. Okay, so you take the test in 1994. Where do you take the test at? Where do you go to take the test?
Wilshire Police Station.
Wilshire Police Station. Is that a room? Is it
Yeah,
just like a room
they
they
had
put
like,
you in?
I think it was like a roll call room,
Okay.
and they had a bunch of people there, and they hand out the test, and you take it,
Right.
and turn it in, and a week later they'll call you or send you a letter. Hey, you passed. This is the date of your oral interview, and you got to go and you get an interview with. It was at the time it was with a civilian and a police officer. Mm-hmm. So you go interview with them, and it's strange with city interviews. They're kind of scripted. They want you to hit these talking points when they ask you, so you have to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
Well, I prepared.
Yeah, I'm sure
And
you did.
they said, the only way you're going to get a shot at this is if you get 100 on this test.
Out of what?
100.
What?
Oh, I think if you had military background or something like that, you could go up to 104 points.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Jesus Christ, that's hard. I mean, that's a big number to hit.
That's a big number to hit.
I don't think I've ever gotten 100 on anything. So I mean, come on. It's just that's hard to do.
It is tough. So I dress up as Joe Republican postal worker.
Right.
Navy blue, red tie, go in there, nail the interview, 100.
Alex
I
P.
thought,
Keaton, right.
That's right. I go, this is it for me. I'm in. I'm going to make this. Our friend Jaime,
Yep.
he takes the test. I think Jaime got an 84 or something like that.
So the 100 mark is there's some wiggle room there. Yeah? I mean, you just said he scored an 84. How do you know that?
He told me.
Right. Okay, so he scored an 84, so he didn't need to score the 100 to get in because he obviously got in. He's an LAPD officer somewhere, or was.
I don't know if it was a concern for Jaime.
Oh, okay, so that had to do with the affirmative action.
He's a fine cop, by the way. I miss that guy. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
But he's doing really well, from what I understand.
Still in the force?
I think still on the force. Sergeant?
Oh, wow. He's sergeant somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Jaime, if you're watching the show, we'd like to, get you down here sometime, talk about.
You got to get him here. It should be me and him.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the guy in forever.
We're going to get a love couch, I think, there for when we do
Chaise?
Chaise lounge or a love seats, or so when we do double, we're going to start doubling up, double firemen, double cops, double FBI,
Right. They go to triple when you're done with that.
Right.
Do you have a room?
Three ways. So Okay, back on the thing. So you take a test, you pass the test, you go down and take your oral. So when you get hired on, you go to MTA.
So here's the deal. I'm applying for LAPD, and a year goes by, almost a year. It's been like 10 months. I got to come back every month to headquarters, listen to a presentation, say, get ready for your background interview, get ready. Every month I was coming, and my friends were getting hired, people I was testing with. And I just said, this is for the birds. So,
just real quick side note too. Were you testing did Ryan Cochran, did you and Cochran go together, or did Cochran go after you?
So Ryan Cochran's a friend of ours that we grew up in high school with. His dad was a legendary cop here at Southwest Police Station. Randy,
wasn't he part of the crash unit? Or weren't those or that was Anderson's?
Can we talk about the big incident that his dad was involved in?
Who, Randy?
Yeah. The North Hollywood shooting?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Remember this. Cochran's dad was down there at the North Hollywood, the two gunmen with the AKs.
Yeah, that was nuts. What was that, 96? 97?
Something like that, yeah. Look that up, fact checkers. Huh? Hollywood shootout. Put that in the Google search bar.
Search bar.
So you go down for 10 months now. You've been going back and forth every once a month to see what the hiring's going on, what's going on.
Right.
And you want to go on LAPD.
Right. I'm thinking LAPD's it. This is, I kind of know LAPD. It seems exciting, seems fun. They were, LAPD was the high watermark for police work. And we thought, well, what do I know? Let's get hired here. And by the way, you're throwing a bunch of spaghetti against the wall. Why not try for a department that's 8,000, 9,000 strong?
Are you also trying to apply, for Mayberry? Are you outside of Los Angeles?
No, I hadn't. So I got some guy turns me on. He says, hey, man, dig this. You've been applying for LAPD. There's this new department called MTA Police Department. They're going to be like the Metro Police Department in New York. They got federal funding. They're going to blow up. It's going to be the next big thing here in LA.
Well, let's not use the word blow up like that. They're going to be huge. Can
you cut that out? Can somebody cut that out?
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
I am Arab, by the way.
And we know.
Don't need that.
And we probably don't need that either.
Oh, are you being serious about the cutout?
No.
Okay, good. I was like, shit, Terry, look at the numbers.
So MTA, the MTA department, who was not around at the time yet, they're saying that they're going to build this department, and this might be a good way to go.
Well, yeah, they were around. They were 210 strong or something like that at the time, and so what happens? They start this big hiring push. So they're looking for people. So I apply for them, and 3 months later, I'm in the academy. Oh, it was great. So right at the beginning of '95, I shook hands with the chief of police from MTA Police in '94 in December, and I remember maybe you and I went to a Vegas trip in February that year, and I was like,
nobody remembers Vegas trips.
Yeah, it's good.
It's true. They all kind of blend together.
They're all kind of
interstitched.
It's nuts.
So in '95, you get your chance to become you start to become a police officer.
Well, so I get hired with MTA Police, and they put me through the police academy, and they send me to Rio Hondo Police Academy in Whittier at Rio Hondo College. Now, there are people that paid their way to go into the police academy, hoping that after they get out, they'll have their certificate and they could just go work for a police.
Oh, you can go that route too?
You can go that route. It's risky.
So you're saying I could right now after the show I could go and put money.
You could.
Yeah, I got skills. I could jump a fucking wall. So you're saying you could go that route? You could pay to go go through police training, get all your credentials, and then go start applying for people. Going, look, I did this.
Right, guys do that for the fire academy as well. So there's two benefits to that. One, from a hiring standpoint, the department will look at you and go, "Okay, cool. We don't have to spend $30,000 on this guy."
And motivation,
right? He's already done it, or she's already done it. Let's hire him, get him on, on the force without having to put that extra money into the training and all that other stuff. We'll just have to teach them policy and procedure for our particular police department.
Yeah.
Same with the fire academy. And a lot of dudes went to fire science college, whatever, to climb the 10 stories with a hose on their back.
Right.
And they didn't have to
backdraft. Doesn't Kurt Russell teach that class? Is it Kurt Russell?
It Baldwin?
Baldwin and the Russells, right? So
and Ron Howard too.
No, I think he just directs.
That was happy days. Cut that out, Scott.
Cut it out.
I'm throwing softballs.
So then, they say, hey, let's go. They give you the shake and they go start training for MTA.
Right. So they shake my hand. They say, we're going to pay for you to go to this police academy. And, I started getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. It was great.
You're getting paid to go to the academy?
Getting paid to go to the academy. I was on payroll.
That's awesome.
How long is training?
Our academy was 4.5 months, and then we had another month in front of that at our department. And then, so it's about 6 months, like training in the classroom and trying to learn policy procedure, law, all that other stuff. And then it's another year probationary period on the streets.
Are you training with anybody you know?
You mean at the academy?
Yes.
No.
No, okay. Because I know you ended up being partnered with somebody you knew, so I didn't know if you guys went through it together or not.
Our mutual friend Ryan, was in the academy right in front of me. So he was academy class right before me, but he paid his way to go to the academy.
Oh, that's okay. So Ryan did that. He went that route.
Yeah, he did that. So
knowing he's going to get a job because his dad is who his dad is, so that's why.
Yeah,
right, right? I mean, nepotism or sonetism.
Is he using that word right, Jason?
Nepotism, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if nepotism works on big police departments. The hiring process here is so nebulous. There's so many pieces of paperwork. You can't just go to the lady at personnel and say, hey,
slide this in.
Put this on the top. They're not having it.
It happens in fire though, right?
How would he know? How could he talk against that?
You kind of know. Well, you can.
I don't know.
You don't need to answer that.
Maybe.
I've heard.
Yeah, those guys are miserable animals. Hiring all their friends and family.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
So
it's like longshoremen.
Right. Hey. Let's keep it nice for the longshoremen, okay?
Yeah, we're gonna have Willie in here soon.
Oh, is he coming in? I can't wait to see that interview. Let me write that down.
So write that down. So Cochran or Ryan was right behind you, or right in front of you, said.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, for the listener, the viewer, you could go to the police academy without being hired by a police department. You just pay your own way through it.
Do you know roughly what that is?
Nowadays I couldn't imagine what it cost. I know back then it was maybe $5 or $6 grand, which that's a king's ransom in 90s money. Right. What is that worth today? Look that up.
Google that.
$48 million.
You got some Howard Stern math going on right
47.
there.
47, close.
So, another question before Scott jumped in here on that. Do you see anybody get weeded out from the academy process that's just not going to make the cut?
Yeah, first day is, it's like the movies you see boot camp for the military. I mean, they're up in your business. And
boot camp. Let's just go back to like Police Academy, the movie. They let every one of those guys into the police force.
I know.
They made it.
Congratulations to them. One of them's a lieutenant now.
I think they made it 6 times, right?
And they made it 6 different times.
I
believe that
6
movie.
different times.
Horrible. The first one was good. I would say Police Academy was good. The first one, yes.
It was amazing.
Right.
The dude that did the sound effects.
Jones.
Have you heard him online? He has this video out. He does like Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
it's
the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
All right. We'll check that out. So
cut the tape.
So
I'm part of this.
So you do get weeded out. The academy does weed out people day 1, day 2, right? You're just not making the cut.
Well, I mean, there were a few people that walked out day 1 of our academy that paid their way to go to this school, and I don't think they were prepared for how intense it was.
Whether it's like physicalities, they couldn't make it. Mental, there's a lot of. Both those things come into play.
I had a hard time. Look, when I was getting hired, people say, "Hey, start running."
No, I remember you guys. I remember you and Cochran when training. I remember you guys when we'd come over and hang out at the houses afterwards. I mean, I remember you being spent. I mean, just trying to jog and exercise and keep your,
It was nuts. I couldn't eat enough calories. I was gaunt. Like, I just exhausted all the time. It was a stress fest, but it is a game, and that's what I think people should really understand, that it is a game. The instructors are there to crack you. They don't hate you. They just don't care about you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
They wouldn't burn calories hating you.
Right.
But they
right.
But they do want to see what you're made of, test your mettle.
Okay, so you complete the academy, you pass the academy.
Right.
And you walk on to the MTA force.
Right.
What year is this?
95.
1995. You became...
And how new are they at that time?
They've been around for a while. They had a contract with the federal government and the county remember RTD?
Yes.
Yes.
So they had a small police department then, but when the LA Metropolitan Transportation Authority took over, that's when they got big funding to set up a police department.
Right, and so Metro Police Department, Metro Policing is basically all the the transits, the trains, the buses,
right,
that kind of thing. So that's the beat that MTA handled, and we in '95. I mean, the Green Line on the 105 was up and running, but there's not a lot of trains. It wasn't the system we have now of the subway system in Los Angeles now.
Right,
and the subway systems that are watched by police departments now, it's sheriffs, right, Scott? It's sheriffs.
Sheriff's department.
It's all sheriffs, right?
Not for long though, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
But for right now, it's sheriffs that handle the Metro beat for all the Metro Transit stuff.
So federal law mandates that a police department, wherever your transportation company is, like the LA County Metropolitan MTA, they have to have police on those systems. They have to either contract them or have their own police department. That's part of them getting their federal funding. That's part of safety for transportation, public transportation.
Yeah.
So they had their own police department. That was the thing. So I was out doing it. I went straight to Watts and started working there 4 a.m. to 2 p.m.
That was your first beat, right?
That was my first beat.
And what was your beat? So Watts, what are you taking? Is that the Green Line? Or
that was the Blue Line.
The Blue Line.
So I was on the Blue Line, and I would ride that from 7th and Fig down to like Pacific Station in Long
uniform
Beach.
or street clothes?
Uniform.
Okay.
So we're in uniform, and it's just the standard blue police uniform.
Right, and so you when Scott says you're riding the bus, so basically you're full uniform, gun, badge, everything, handcuffs, and ready to go. But you're and obviously the public can see you. You're not trying to conceal who you are on the train. You are a police officer riding the Metro Transit system.
Yeah, and then there's laws to enforce there, like the tagging, the chicken stuff, Not so much tagging, but no cussing, spitting, drinking.
Come on.
That kind of stuff.
You can't enforce that.
The hell we can't. There was a lot.
But did you really? Did you?
You know what? It was one of those things, man.
You can't chew gum on here. Stop.
Did you bring enough gum for everybody? Did you bring enough gum for everybody?
Are you going to share? This whole train is gumless, except for you, sir. I tell you what. Why don't you stand in front of the train and chew your gum while everybody watches?
There you go, huh? From 39th,
you need to,
all the way to
117. You need to run for the chief. Your ideas are great.
I know, dude. So it was awful. There was these cats that were just like, bone tired, just getting up for work, and they have their coffee and they're sitting on the train. Excuse me, sir, you can have coffee on the train.
So you had to be that. I mean,
I was that guy.
You were that guy for a minute.
On probation. I was like, yes, sir, no, sir, in a Jiffy Pete, right?
Yep.
So, it's awful, man. But that's why the MTA system here in LA, especially, you could eat off the ground at the subway.
Right.
They
are clean.
When MTA police was there.
Some have a fragrance of, what would you say, urine, but they are clean for the most part. But even Europe has a strong smell of urine in all their subways too, right? So they're no better than us.
It's so ubiquitous now that if you smell fresh air, what's going on? What's wrong?
What is that? What's happening?
What is that?
It's poison. It's poison.
And like you didn't contribute to that pissage.
I peed in a few subways down in the Eastern European bloc once or twice.
Well, isn't it expected there?
I've never peed in the subway down here in Los Angeles, though. You never find me doing that. Never. Never. So, okay, so MTA. So how long did you work the MTA system for?
So I was working the Blue Line train for maybe 6 months. After that, I got in a patrol car and started working streets. So when you'd see MTA police, you're going, "Oh, what's this?"
Yeah,
it's black and white. People were like,
"Yeah, you guys' cop cars did look like movie set cop cars. Like you didn't quite look like. I mean, everyone knows what the sheriff looked like. Everyone knew what LAPD looked like. But your patrol car was like, "What the
bizarre.
fuck? Jason just come off of a fucking movie set.
Yeah, what is this?"
That? Yeah.
Yeah, one door was white. Only one door. If I remember correctly, I think only one door was white. The rest was black.
Right.
It was a strange car, but they're police cars. Here we go, rolling down the street with shotguns and everything.
Yep.
And your mission was you drive down Pico and clean it up. And there's a lot to clean up on Pico.
Sure.
So that's what we did. Anything near a bus stop, anything on the street, anything a bus would pass by, you were not safe to commit a crime. I
right.
mean,
you got that was your guys' beat. Like
that
you
was
said,
it.
You're taking care of everything that the bus goes down and goes by. You see any nefarious activities going on the bus routes.
Yeah.
You're handling it.
Right. So what happens in 1996, there's this chatter about, well, the MTA doesn't want to be in the police business anymore. It's too costly. There's union issues that they have to deal with. I don't exactly know what it was, but the LAPD and the Sheriff's Department came calling and said, hey, we could police this city, the buses and the trains.
Yeah.
We could do it. How about us? And MTA board says, well, let's find out if our officers would like to go to those departments. Would they be opposed to a merger with these police departments or the Sheriff's Department? So they come to us. They say, "Hey, you guys want to split off and go to LAPD?" We vote yes. Yeah, let's go. Let's go have.
Is it kind of a unanimous thing? Does everybody want to go?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
are you guys are you having a good time working at MTA?
We're having no. Everything's great.
Right.
The pay is well. We had ex-LAPD officers on our department going, "Hey, you know what?
And now I'm not trying to say that the beat's not as heavy as being an LAPD cop, but I mean you're Metro Transit. So I mean, did you kind of settling into what your day to day was, right? Instead of a bigger picture like being a city cop with having to kind of police everything.
Well, there was that kind of Super Troopers feel to it, like, hey, here come the transit cops. What do they do now? But for the most part, it was great. And we got along with all the departments we worked in. We were working in 5 counties. I took calls down at Disneyland sometimes.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was a good time.
That's how far you traveled.
Right.
Because working for MTA, like you said, you are in charge, but you guys are patrolling basically where the buses take people.
That's exactly
and
it.
trains and that stuff. So you have to go where the calls are.
Up from Zuma down to like South Orange County.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So if a crime was committed on the bus, of course, the police department that was near would go handle the emergency, but the investigation
would be you guys.
Yeah, that portion was left up to us, so we'd get down there and get.
Okay, so So when do they merge? What happens?
So in '97, November '97, half our department goes to the Sheriff's Department, the other half goes to LAPD.
Did you get a choice?
I didn't. I wasn't high enough on the seniority.
Was there choices?
Yeah.
There was.
So everybody that had seniority kind of went to the Sheriff's Department.
Really?
Yeah, for the most part. They're like, I want to go work the LA County Sheriff's. It was an easy switch, I think, because of the our pension system lined up with theirs, and I don't.
Sheriff's Department.
Yeah,
okay.
they're kind of easygoing guys, so they kind of, I guess, they perceive the Sheriff's Department as an easygoing place.
Easier transition.
It's so long ago, 20 years ago, man. I can't.
I know. Well, that's what you're here for. We're digging all this up, man. This is therapy, dude.
I need to get this out.
Hey, get some tissues over here. Get this.
Indigestion, actually.
Right.
Egg McMuffin on the way in. What you eat at 4 a.m. is awful.
What are you talking about? 2 Egg McMuffins on the way over. I know you.
Dare you, sir? Cut that out, Scotty. Anyway, so I come over to LAPD, and they start this transit police division. This is very exciting for all the listeners, right?
It is.
It is, actually.
I'm sure there's a handful of kids just
Let me write this down.
just piled around the old radio like the FDR days, just listening how you become a decent cop.
Gather around,
it's
kids.
It's relevant now because it's now changing back over, and that was just announced yesterday, wasn't it?
That's right, sir.
Yeah.
So we think that we're going to get the contract back with the MTA police. Or not MTA police, but to police the transit system. LAPD.
LAPD is going to get
Yeah. The Sheriff's Department did it, and for whatever reason, I have no idea, so I'm speaking out of my ass. For whatever reason, the MTA is done with them and wants to hire us. So we're going to go there and police the transit system again. So there was a transit division at LAPD for a long time where I worked. And that was cool. That was a good place. That's where I kind of got my feet wet with patrol. So I went to Southwest Police Station when I got here.
When you transferred over from
When
MTA?
I transferred over.
Now, were you still doing the same thing, just different uniform?
Yeah, we had. I think we
But
just.
when you were still getting on the trains and doing the job you were doing the day before, you just are now getting paid by somebody different.
Getting paid by somebody different, different uniform. That's the same thing. They had us a different gun and badge, and that was it. And said, go do it. And we did it and kind of did some cross training with a lot of divisions in the city, and people came in, and it was good for cops.
Still uniformed, right?
It was still uniformed.
At some point, you were ununiformed on these things, were you not?
Yeah, so I go to Southwest Police Station, kind of get my feet wet in municipal police work, which is, domestic violence stuff and going into somebody's house and trying to break up arguments and giving fake divorces to people.
Right. City call. I mean, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that got old quick.
Yeah.
That got old really quick. Because, the thing is, the thing about police work is that you're forced to get in people's business. And
well, yeah, that's what you guys. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
but putting your nose in where it doesn't belong until you guys get called.
So you don't get called later.
Right.
So it was tough. It was an eye-opening experience to go into somebody's home and
get involved,
take them into custody because they're smacking around their wife or whatever the thing was. I mean, they deserve to go to jail, but
absolutely, right. We don't condone anybody putting hands on a lady here at this.
Don't hit a woman even with a flower.
What? Yeah, never with flowers.
I'm sensing somebody here smacked a chick around. That's what I'm getting, Toddy.
Good.
And I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah,
Let me after the.
We're getting to the bottom of this.
Number
two. We're all going to be interviewed.
Number 2, interview.
That's funny. We're all being profiled here, by the way, probably by this guy.
Not allowed to profile.
Oh, what? Oh, you guys don't profile?
No,
huh?
we don't profile.
All right. Well.
Not racially, but behaviorally, I can.
Right.
So that twitch in your eye, that's starting to bother me. You're not looking at me in the eye either.
I'm looking just off the eyes.
Grinding your teeth. Oh, terrible stuff.
So when you get to doing the municipal policing, after that, I mean, like Scotty kind of hinted at, you were doing some undercover stuff for a minute, were you not?
That's right. So I go to Southwest Police Station, and before I leave, I apply for this little section within MTA Police called GHOST. So GHOST stood for Graffiti Habitual Offender Suppression Team. And they were pretty well renowned throughout the country because of the work they've done. And, these guys, now bear with me because I know you guys are street artists.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm staring right at you during this. Let's
feel
talk.
the daggers.
We have
buddy.
another Downey tie-in for that too.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, Spoo. Is that what it was? Is that what it's called?
By the way, you know what your tagger name is?
Wait, mine? Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Is it on file already down at the
No.
station?
Oh, no. There's a way to figure it out.
Oh, well, I thought his was LOUDLABS.
No, it's too long. LOUDLABS? That's a lot of... I mean, you're never going to get that on a freeway overpass.
How do you know?
You want to bet?
Really?
No, not really. Go.
Spoo. Hold on a second. Spoo. Isn't what's his name?
Yeah,
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. Did we just give up? Did we just give up him now?
No, he's publicly. Yeah. He's public.
Mike.
He's public.
Yeah, I was telling you. Remember we were talking yesterday.
Is
about
the head dude?
Jason goes, you should have Ron on because Ron, his brothers, we went to high school with again, and he's like, he'd be interesting. And on the text message,
I like them both.
I said, Mike would be more interesting. He goes, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, no, I've actually done some work with him. He found out some news, but he's the head of almost what you're talking about, but in a different thing now. Like if you tag on an MTA or you tag on the freeway,
right,
he's gonna come get you. Well, not
right.
him,
So
his team is.
I think his team took over what
Ghost was.
For the sheriff's department.
Yeah, it sounded the same. All right, go ahead.
And the good Thibodeau brothers are good guys.
Yeah.
Boris twins, by the way.
What?
The Boris twins.
Yes.
Amy and Yana. They got inducted to Downey High School Hall of Fame or something like that.
There is one?
Yes. I'm very upset that I wasn't part of that.
What?
I've been competing with those girls my whole life, and finally I have a chance to shine, and they take them over me.
No kidding.
I don't know if they put their handprint in like some cement or something like that. But
we should look into that because if there's anything going on in Downey, that's a Hall of Fame.
Number 3.
Look into Downey Hall of Fame status.
Anyway.
So you apply for Ghost.
Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame. Or Hall of Notes. Either way.
No, Carpenters.
Carpenters and Metallica. Yeah. James Hetfield. I have the yearbook with Hetfield in there.
Yeah.
Are you in it?
No, my brother is, though.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
No, not at all.
I don't want him to die, but that's going on eBay the day he does.
The yearbook?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Daddy's got to pay rent.
Yeah, well, he's super healthy, so he's probably going to outlive all of us.
He's such a great dude.
Yeah. Have you seen his podcast with Rogan? Him and Hetfield? That was great, man.
Oh, it was
great
really
interview.
good.
Great interview. So let's get back to Ghost. So when you're on the Ghost team, what happens? What are you doing?
So Ghost, we were undercover cops.
How many of you in the squad?
We were as high as 18. I think when I was on, there was 14 or 15 of us. Mm-hmm. There were 2 sergeants and a bunch of cops. And they said, okay, guys, dress down.
And dress down. No, Just real quick. Yeah,
Dressed down looks like that.
Well, no, but just to interject.
That's a little fancy.
Just to interject though, real quick. During his undercover days, Jason and I, like I said, we've been friends and hung out and been friends for this long. Some of Jason's undercover outfits, I think, if I'm correct, he was taking a shirt here and a shirt there and then picking up a little bit of my style. I think you kind of, right? Am I right?
Well, did I not get some XXX agent stuff? Was it at
Did your
that time?
shoes match your shirt?
Yeah, it was tops and bottoms, baby.
Tops and bottoms.
Tops and bottoms.
Didn't lace them either.
Right? Yeah. No, I know. You had a really good look. So let's go on. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to know that I think you were taking my look a bit here and there on some days while you were working. Just saying.
What do you want? Can I
write this down? Write this down. 4.
It's weird because I saw Jason the day Kurt left for the wheelie trip.
Yeah.
He looked like that.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
He had a red flannel on. He had red shoes on.
Did you like working in the undercover detail?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Next question. You're a fucking great interview. Do you like doing stuff? Are you having fun in life?
Do you like chasing the bad guys and putting them in jail?
Those pants you wearing, buddy?
Come on.
Okay, listen. Yeah, I did. It was a good time. So we got all these young cops, young kids out there going, hey, go make arrests, get these taggers. It was interesting. So they unleash us citywide, and we go out and ride buses and watch kids take a Dremel tool to a back window. And those windows, I think at the time, they were thick. Plexiglass.
Yeah.
They must have cost $400 a piece for a small section. So these kids were destroying those windows, and we'd go and nab those guys.
And, and fast too. I mean, the kids they're really going to town on these RTD buses and, and Metro line buses.
Yeah. So the mornings or the afternoons, we'd go and get our 5 or 6 arrests of these kids. And essentially, we'd take them back to the station, cite them, and have their parents come pick them up and say, "See you later," and that was it. Take all their tools away and take pictures of the backpack.
When you say their parents, does that mean most of them were juveniles or under 18?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Any arrests stick out in your head?
So, yeah, there was a kid named Blue, and I'm sure he didn't spell it the traditional one. I think there was an umlaut and a IEX or something.
You had the box of crayons going there. He's like, nope, it's not this guy.
Right.
He's not spelling the traditional Crayola way.
Right.
Nope.
So he was bombing the hell out of MTA property and city property, and he was just all over the place here in downtown.
Was somebody like that, did they get put on a list?
Yeah, well, I mean,
you get more brownie points if you get somebody on the higher list?
Yeah, it was, it was somebody to go and get because people were sick of seeing that name on everything, on windows.
Benches, windows,
I think
chairs.
I think he did a car door, and for some reason that stuck out. It made people, you see tagging on the side of a building, but when it's your, Toyota Celica, right, that just got bombed, you're like, there's something personal about that, and I think somebody got mad about it. So they got us on the case, and one of our officers wrote a big long affidavit, took pictures, got the evidence, was able to prove who the guy was. And we went out, served a search warrant on him, got him, and he went to jail, and he's paid restitution for it. It was a big deal at the time, and I mean, it was a strange thing too, because after we'd get these kids on the buses or on the street corners, throwing up a little slap tag or something like that, we'd go to the Palms area or to some of these. They were abandoning parks and things like that, and parking lots. LA's kind of filled up now, but they would have big mural pieces there. And we'd go see, who was the greatest artist around. And there was, I can't speak for the other officers because they didn't really so much care for taggers, but I had a reverence for these guys. I just liked art, you know. So I liked looking at some of these things and what they were doing. And I kind of subscribe to the notion if you're taking a spray can and you're writing your name 60 times on a freeway underpass, that's ridiculous. To jail you go.
You're not getting enough attention at home.
Yeah.
Something.
So therefore, you got to go to jail?
So the
good kids that do the good art should not go to jail.
Right. I definitely subscribe to that notion where, the better the art, that you should, if
they're going to pass.
The worse you are and you can't spell your name with the backwards E clever.
If I could do it, you're going to prison.
Right.
That's a barometer for good art.
Right. If the LAPD or if the officer can
if the average cop
can match your tag for tag, you're going to jail. You're going to get locked up. That's that.
Yeah, we'd get some of these kids, and I felt bad for them because, some of them were fatherless and just looking for. They didn't want to be in a gang,
Right.
you know. So this was one way to express themselves, and it was.
I have no problem. I think the city. I don't think the city's doing a very good job nowadays of keeping tagging and
Thibodeau's
artwork.
working hard.
No, I'm just. I mean, look, we can step outside, and I mean, you can just turn around, do a 360, and it's fucking everywhere. I mean, now is it good versus bad? You know, I mean,
No, it's bad, dude. There's no relativism in this. If it's a shitty bomb all over the side of a building or on a sidewalk,
It's a shitty bomb.
awful.
Yeah,
you know what? And it makes you feel bad. But if a business commissions a good artist to throw something
That's
up,
happening a lot more these days.
thank God.
Yeah,
It's happening a lot more.
Absolutely.
Because and there's rules to it too. The taggers won't write on that unless they do. The rule is it has to be bigger and better. If you're gonna cover something up, that's the
It
rule.
depends on what area you're in. I mean,
Right.
there's still taggers and there's still crews they don't give a fuck. You know, I mean that's their neighborhood, that's their wall, and
Yeah, so there's a gang mentality to that. And in fact, taggers or street artists, graffiti artists, whatever, we got them into the Cal gang system because a lot of these cats you'd arrest and they'd have a Saturday night special in
Priors,
the ways,
and priors,
priors,
yeah.
and you'd arrest them and you look across the street and their friend was on the roof with some rifle just in
Right.
case some
lookouts.
lookouts. So they were dangerous, Not all of them, of course, but some of these kids were.
Yeah.
And that was that. I had a good time.
So have you ever had to when you were I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but weren't you were you not injured on a chase down during your undercover days? Were you not injured?
The old Sears building, I remember there was these guys by the railroad tracks and they were tagging something and there was no way to sneak up on them. It was just like, okay, guys, well, we got to get them now or they're going to, we got to go. Let's now. And they start running. So we're like, hey, freeze, LAPD. And we're all kind of getting older and fatter, and these are young kids. And they're running on the ballasts, on the rocks on the railroad tracks.
Sure.
So my friend in front of me, Mark, grabs a dude, tackles him. And for some reason, as I was jumping to tackle him, he kind of turned around and said, no. And I kind of fell on the rocks and on him. Boy, those rocks don't give at all. There is no play in them.
No,
I mean,
no.
it is like jumping onto concrete. So I essentially cannonballed onto this pile of rocks, and he felt it. That's what he's kind of telling me, like, this was a bad idea. Don't
Right.
do
We're
this.
both going to get injured here.
Right. So I busted up my knee, and that was.
So is that your only injury on the job?
I have a back injury as well.
How'd you?
It doesn't sound like the story is as exciting though.
That's not. I heard it during training.
Oh, okay.
No big deal.
That's a train. That's
But
not a back.
I'm better now. I'm ready to go.
Right.
Let me just do this. Let me stretch real quick. Hold on. I'm not hurt. My back is not hurt.
So let's get into what this gentleman does now, unless you had some other stuff.
No. We can jump. Let's jump into what your specific title is now. What you're doing for LAPD.
LAPD finally figured out that you got brains in there, and they wanted to use your brains instead of your bronze, right?
Okay. Yes.
Well,
thank you.
But the bronze ran out. The brains have always been there. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Braun ran out?
The bronze is gone. The brains have been there. Right. Let's do some push-ups. Huh? Let's see how many push-ups.
Push-up contest,
Huh?
bro.
We got a pull-up bar.
Come on. Yeah, we got pull-up bar. Oh, it seems like fuck.
Damn it.
So when did LAPD figure out you're
Work
smart?
out.
Let me write that down. What's up, buddy?
When did LAPD figure out you're smart?
Let me put that in parentheticals. Smart. Remind me to kill Scotty.
telling you guys,
they have never felt I was smart.
He's profiling all of
You know
us.
what? I think they were sick of me enough because I complained about working on the streets long enough. They just said, well, put him somewhere inside.
I mean, you're like the one cop that wanted the desk job. I mean,
I did. I'm not cut out for the streets,
You know
man.
Riggs and Murtaugh, right? I mean,
I'm a Cagney and Lacey's
more
little
of a
sister. You dig?
I dig. So what is it you do exactly for LAPD
What
now?
do you do here?
So now I work at LAPD's audit division,
Okay.
and it's Squaresville, man. It is.
It sounds like it. I mean, you didn't have to fucking say it, but I mean, just the word audit, right? I mean, but no, come
Right,
on,
nobody-
audit. But what do you do there? What do you
So
do
we do
there?
performance audits. You remember this big Rampart scandal?
Football? Is that a guy involved in it? Wasn't
Yeah.
there a guy named Football?
Jimmy Dean Rampart.
Yeah, Jimmy Dean Rampart, a football. And
Yeah, Woody Harrelson was in the movie about it, right?
Right. They surfed,
Right. Okay. So you surf. You had to get that thrown in. Everybody, Jason lives in Huntington Beach area. He surfs on like probably 2 to 3 days a week. Not even that anymore. So basically, he's just collecting surfboards. He just collects surfboards now. Yes.
I know. I started to collect dust.
Yeah, I see it on your Instagram.
It's tough. I went the other day, and boy, that is a perishable skill, brother. If you don't go all the time, it's tough on the shoulders. Getting old.
You are getting old.
You're older than me.
Yeah, I am older than you.
So you get to tell me what to do?
But look at this hair. Look at this hair, though. I mean,
I can't believe you still have it.
Look at that.
Dude, it's all there.
Jesus.
Okay, so what do you do at the audit division?
We do performance audits.
Okay, what does that mean?
Okay, here's what it means. I will go to the aforementioned hazmat unit. And hazmat has a standard operating procedure that they developed over years of this entity being in the police department.
Got it.
And it's best practices and federal law and all these different rules they have to adhere to. I will go to them and say, look, we're going to audit you guys. Let me have your standard operating procedure. I'm going to review that, and then I'm going to make sure you followed your own rules. And we'll look at it over. And it's weird. You can't see the forest through the trees sometimes when you're
in it.
When you're in it. But if I look at everything they've done over a course of 6 months, I could see where their deficiencies are. I could see where they're doing really well. And I could take that. And what happens is I'll take that report. I'll write it all out. I'll discuss it with them and go, look, you guys are having problems in this area. And they'll go, oh, no, dig it. I have something to support the reason why you found that deficiency.
Anomaly. Yeah, got it.
So they'll fix it, and then we'll fix the audit, and then we could take that audit and go to the police commission. Police commission's the ones that want this audit. And they want to review it and make sure that LAPD is doing the job they're supposed to be doing. And I get to take this shining report and say, here, police commission, our hazmat unit, best in the country. Read it and weep. And they read it and go, awesome, next item. We could look at the gang units. We look at different entities within the city, wherever there may be a need or not, and find out what the deficiencies are or what they're doing right, and then expand on those.
So I watch too many movies. And
Right.
That's where this question's going to come from. Are you internal affairs?
No, completely different.
Thank you.
Audit division kind of transcends internal affairs.
Okay,
so
well,
I could go to internal affairs and audit them and find out what they're doing
I just
wrong.
wanted to make sure you were still liked.
No.
In the movies, they don't
Oh,
like
I'm not
internal
liked,
affairs.
dude.
Bullshit.
Nobody likes audit
that's
division.
Bullshit.
That's what I was going to ask you.
I'm
though.
loved.
Yeah, loved. Do you find that people
Thank you,
in
Scott.
other departments are kind of like, oh fuck, here comes the audit department and whatever your division is?
Yeah.
Do they kind of, are they kind of like, I mean,
You know what? It's just nature of the beast now. They know this is how it goes. We got to have an audit shop.
this is coming.
Yeah, we were under a consent decree from the Department of Justice for many years. It was 10 years or something like that after the Rampart scandal. So we had to have this place that does audits and inspections of our own department to make sure that we're doing things right. I mean, it was a mandate. So we did, and now we're doing really well. And the audit division, my boss is just a great dude. He's a civilian auditor, and it's just a good place to be, man.
Yeah.
It's a really good place to be. And what it does is it saves LAPD civil liabilities. So if we find something going on wrong, we could point it out prior to something bad happening and saying, hey, look, this is what's happening.
Try to get ahead of the problem.
Yeah, so there are different commands within the city. To answer your question, yeah, people hate getting audited.
I mean, just in general, then people don't like getting
Oh,
audited.
dude, it's awful.
That's what I'm
Can you
saying.
I want to get in your business. What are you doing?
Stay out of my business.
What color underwear do you wear?
You know what color they are.
Blood red.
Blood red.
That's right,
So
the tough guy.
who does all the auditing for the mustaches? Do you go in and performance check like whose cop mustaches are looking the way they're supposed to be, or
Right,
you're too
so-
little, too light, too
Right.
heavy?
So I'm the standard for cool mustaches.
You are standard. There's a gauge, there's a book.
Right. So the Coast Guard comes in, checks mine out.
I was going to say,
They
who
deem it-
audits you?
Right. So they'll come in, they'll say, look, you're good to go.
Coast
Gotta
Guard.
admit, though,
Coast Guard comes
fire
in.
department
Coast
have the
Guard.
best mustaches,
Oh,
right?
God, those guys, they're all full of
They got the
testosterone.
best
Look at
mustaches.
the
Chicks like them.
The captain on the PCP cook-off, that guy's name is Dusty something. Captain Dusty.
Dusty mustache?
Dusty, but that guy had the chop. I mean, that was a good mustache on
Yeah,
that captain.
I'm just starting. This is a day and a half.
There's only a day and a half, huh? Day and a half.
Day and a half.
Right. So, okay, but let's be honest. So how long have you been in the audit division? How long and you like it there? I mean,
dude, I like
it's
it
9
there.
to 5, right?
It's a 9 to 5er. Yeah, and it's weekends and holidays off, and it's good. I get to know different people in the department. I go everywhere, all over the city.
Right.
And
I mean, your department's got their hands in everything, like you said. You guys are like watching and taking care of business on everybody else's business.
Right. And the thing about our division is that when you go do an audit, there's two things they could go, I can't stand you guys, get out of here. Or you could just comply easily and we could get this done, and you could see what you're doing wrong and you can see what you're doing right. And we accentuate everything that's going right. We magnify that, and really,
right. You could
shine a light.
Yeah.
They forget that you're on their side.
Right. So we want to shine a light on us. I want everybody to get 100%. Yeah. But if they don't, then we could talk about it and figure it out and find out what's going on. But
have you encountered some like super hostility in departments, or like I mean crazy bad, like get the fuck out of here?
A little bit. I mean, like you get that sense, and then somebody calls somebody, my boss talks to their boss, and then all of a sudden, everything's okay, and we're all friends, and it's, fist bumps and hugs. But
fist bumps and hugs.
You know what? Now we've been around long enough that people know it's part of the game.
Right.
And, a lot of divisions audit themselves, so they could say, well,
let's keep Jason out of here.
I want that clown in here. That fucking mustache. Look at his mustache. Good God, it's awful.
Oh, that's funny.
Jerks.
Jerks. We're not jerks. We're just mustache-loving dudes.
What's up with you clowns? I mean, you're running around town.
Strangers don't have mustache. Well, Scott can get a good mustache going, but I've always not been able to do the mustache. I can't do the mustache. It doesn't work for me.
Dearborn's trying.
Dearborn, how's your mustache coming in? Yep, there it is. Frickin' Boston mustache, huh? Huh?
I like these guys.
Yeah, they're great. Terry and Dearborn have the new add-ons to my friendship in life.
How's Terry? Is he okay over there?
Terry is great over there.
He doesn't have a soft mat to stand on.
No, fuck, we got to get him a soft mat.
Hit up Home Depot, grab one of those silicone mats.
He's auditing us right now.
He is auditing us.
I'm trying to help here. It's heaven on your knees, kid.
Huh?
Hey, I have a question for the auditor. When's the last time you carried handcuffs? Right?
Well, hey, listen. I still get in uniform and I work. I worked the Grammys the other night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got in full uniform. Was out doing that.
Part of that, right? Obviously.
The handcuffs are part of that gig. I got to oil them because good God.
Yeah, good God, they don't get any use.
Just.
No, but that's a good jumping off point to what I want to ask you is okay, so you got in uniform recently, and you do it every now and then. You'll go to work in uniform, right?
I worked Rams games and USC games in uniform.
So doing this job.
Hold on. How does that work? Because you've been there for a while, or do you sign up for that?
Yeah, you could sign up for it.
It's called overtime.
It's called overtime.
That's like the gig.
It is a gig. It's what? That's 10 hours on your feet. It ain't that easy.
Right.
Not at my age.
No, not at your age.
the foot of my mouth.
So
call the police.
So then.
I'm having a stroke.
Back to my reference of when Scott and I are out, I will just say, and I don't know their names or badge numbers or whatnot, but there are a handful of cops out there that don't look, one, very well trained, two, a little overweight, and just I mean, do you guys need to get to the gym?
What do you mean by overweight?
Overweight?
Like, are you a doctor? How do you know they're overweight? Maybe that's their body type. They're endomorphs.
The endomorphs.
What are the body types? Google that.
I'm just Google it. No, I just say that
to the internet.
There is a lot of what I would say cops that look like out there sometimes that are a little out of shape, and I mean, don't you?
Mostly the older ones that have been doing it for a while and haven't moved out of the car.
Yeah, do you guys have a policy? Like, don't you shouldn't? How often do you go to the shooting range? Since you're auditing, and you still your license to carry that gun.
You're still training, right?
Once a month.
Once you have to go to the training.
Is that mandatory?
Yes.
Okay. Is training mandatory? Like firefighters train every day. Do you guys have mandatory training?
Firefighters go to Costco and make lasagna every day.
Hey,
too.
It's good lasagna too.
I bet it is. God, I was so jealous of those guys. We go write reports in the station.
But do you have to? Are you?
I have to work out?
Is that no, we're not asking you if you have to work out. We're asking you if you have to train. Todd's asking you if you have to work out.
Train in what? Yeah, there's a lot of disciplines to train in. Train in
shooting, working out, staying physically fit.
Okay, so
running, jumping.
So part of Chief Beck's kind of mission was to have a physically fit police department.
And everybody needs to learn how to ride a motorcycle.
Right. That's right. He loves that motorcycle. Gosh darn. I wish I knew how to ride one.
Just so you can hang
Would
out
you
with
teach me how to ride a motorcycle?
Will you teach me how to surf?
Yes.
I don't want to.
There's sharks out there, Todd.
I know. I don't like the fish. The fish is no good with me.
A lot of monsters out there. It's,
Right? Syringes, oil slicks, right? There's all kinds of shit out there.
Like Haiti.
Right. Brought to you by Haiti.
Right.
Vacation
Haiti
spot.
surf vacations.
Haiti surf vacations. Brought to you.
All right. Listen, next sponsor.
Next sponsor. Do you work out? Do you keep yourself physically
What are you
fit?
talking about? Do you work out? Look at those arms.
No,
Look
I
at that
know.
chest.
I'm asking. Well,
Please.
I'm asking.
I
the
try to.
audience.
So, yeah, for the audience, it is encouraged that police officers do that. The only problem is after a 10-hour day and you start the violins, like, it's tough. You know, mentally it's hard on police officers to work because your head is on a swivel. You're constantly alert. And that amount of adrenaline pumping through your head all the time, it takes its toll. So a lot of guys just want to get home, crack a beer, and put their feet up. Like this, you need to decompress. Right. I mean, you guys are at it too.
We do the same thing. We work hard at night, and then we'll go drink a beer in the morning, and go to bed.
Right. You're on the gas.
But you're right though, Jay. The head on a swivel and the adrenaline rush of being in at scenes that are chaotic, and you got to be ready, and whether it's still like an active shooting scene or there's still
like I said, they do a great job not killing somebody every night.
whether it's a car or an accident scene where you're still trying to block off and you're waiting for so cars don't come in. It's like I said, it's I get what you're saying. It's a tense. You're constantly tense doing the job.
Yeah.
So you just want to relax.
You do, and going to the gym after that is. It's a tough thing to do. So Chief Beck really wants everybody to be, physically fit, in shape, playing sports, doing that thing. The only problem is getting that done after work and then getting to family or getting home it's incredibly tough. So we start this diet thing every year. It's like a fitness challenge. And we have that in July to, I think, Halloween or July to October 1st or something like that, where people lose weight, they get on a diet, they start running, they actively do it. That's about the only time of year we really focus on officers' health. And they can participate or not, and there's big prizes and things like that at the end of the year.
Big prizes, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Like Sony televisions.
Right.
And whatnot.
Do you guys still have that softball? Like, do you guys go against the fire departments?
Oh, yeah.
Football games and, flag football,
yeah,
baseball games?
My buddy Jerry at work, he's all into the softball playing for
against
LAPD.
the fire department?
I think they play against fire departments, other police departments, things like that. Like
Are you joining the surf team?
No.
There is no surf team.
There is a surf team.
LAPD has a surf team?
I don't think so, but they have a surf But they should start one, right?
Right?
No,
How
you
about
should
that?
start one.
I'll start one. I'll start that. Let me write that down. Surf team.
Beck.
Take all this
Mustache required.
to the for the surf team.
You got to be mustachioed.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so physical fitness is important. And, it's such a personal thing. So you see a cop that may be a little sloppy, you go, what's going on there? And if you took a cross-section of police officers, I'd probably be pretty equal to any other.
No, I think Scott was right. I mean, it's sometimes, most times, it's the older ones. I mean, I do see there's a lot of cops out there on the beat that I see that are physically fit.
Yeah.
Do have the big stretched arms and they've got their uniform.
Deion Joseph,
yeah,
have you
just
seen that?
screaming, just
Officer
screaming.
Joseph down at, is it Joseph? I think it is. He's like the angel of Skid Row. The cop's like, just sent from God. He's like an angel, this guy, and he goes and works Skid Row, and he's been there. He's been a fixture there for at least 10 years. He's a senior lead officer. Anyway, good Christian kid. You guys should probably get to meet him.
We might know.
Have him over.
Our interview next week might know him.
Yeah, actually, we're having next week. We're having some guy by the name of Skid Row General Jeff.
Oh,
Do you know who he is?
No.
Do you know the? Yeah, I just got a hold of him.
he's one of the characters down there.
No, he's not a character down there. He's I guess you could say. Well, we're gonna find out.
He's one of those clowns running around down there.
No, he's their like.
No offense, Jeff. I love the guy.
They're confidant. Like I mean, he's like their spokesman. For what's going on in the Skid Row area.
Good.
And he'll tell you numbers and tell you the companies that are just they're making money, not helping, and things like that.
That's such a. That's going to be interesting. I can't wait to hear that.
He's basically got a he's trying to put a big spotlight on the homelessness problem problem down in Skid Row, and he's saying that there's a lot of things going on that on the surface look like they're helping, and they're trying to put a dent in this homelessness problem. And he's like, I'm saying I don't think that's necessarily true, and I'll tell you why. So,
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, so he's going to be our guest next week. So
awesome.
Looking forward to that.
Somebody interesting, not like me.
Yeah, somebody interesting in here.
I have a real quick question. It's kind of going back to how you started. You started Metro or MTA and then
Right.
LAPD, and now it looks like that's changing back. What happened yesterday?
Okay, so I'm not too clear as to what happened, but we think that the MTA contract is going to be awarded back to LAPD come July.
And,
So the Sheriff's
and
Department getting out of
not just LAPD, also Long Beach PD. So if a transit runs through their city, they're going to take it.
Right.
Right now, if a transit train runs through Long Beach, the sheriffs handle it.
So this is an interesting thing because through Compton, who would handle that? Would it be the Sheriff's Department within Compton, or does LAPD run down
Depends on what part, right? Because
well, yeah, I mean, there's city boundaries and then there's other.
Right there. That's the KTLA thing about it. Soldiers, I mean, you can that's just a quick revise of what was going on. It was an LA Times article that's on KTLA.
Los Angeles, Long Beach police departments are going to have enforcement duties.
Yep.
Exciting.
Right?
So,
yeah, I'm in.
So then what does that mean? Is that are they going to be creating a new division, or are you guys?
They will have a whole new division specific.
Basically, going back to what you used to do in the beginning, there'll be a new MTA division of police officers that are basically just kind of solely their beat during the day will be the transit areas.
That's right, and there's enough of us still around to kind of train these guys that come in.
I was going to ask, are they going to ask you to do that? Are you going to be involved in this?
I've been getting emails here and there from other guys saying, "Hey, are you going to jump aboard? What's going on here?"
This?
I probably won't.
Could be your swan song, like your exit. You can
comes
really
full circle.
Exactly. Dude, born again.
I can understand why you're not going to go sit on the trains, but as training wise, are you going to be training?
Yeah, I'll be over there. If they ask me to help, I'll certainly help. It's why not? But things have changed too, so I don't know what the new standard in tactics are. And
I don't think the kids are bringing Dremels on the trains anymore, or the buses. They have
they're not
smaller tools, much smaller tools now.
Laser guns etching now.
Laser etchers.
Aren't we supposed to be flying? Is our buses supposed to be flying? It's 2017.
Where's our jetpacks?
Yeah, no kidding.
Where's our jetpacks?
Railroad tracks.
They're coming.
Railroad tracks are so fucking 1995.
I want to have a roast beef prime rib meal in a pill.
Right?
Do you remember that?
Right. Jetsons.
Invent that.
Invent Jetsons.
So I would go back. I would go help. And, if they have slots open on an overtime basis, I'm sure they will. There's no way they could fill a division that'll need 300 or 400 people, like, overnight.
Right.
We just don't have the police power. I was going to say manpower. I'm trying to get away from the policeman,
woman.
Right. It's police officer. So I would say manpower, but
do you know how
people
many
power? People power. We don't have the people power.
Do you know how many women you guys have on the LAPD force?
I think we're up to 30% female officers.
Really?
Yeah, don't quote me on that. As of 2012, I don't know. I'll check on that. I'll come back next week. So push that other guy back a few, and I'll come back with the stats. So you need number of women.
Yeah.
Number of.
We need the Coast Guard here. We want the Coast Guard here checking mustaches too.
I could bring them in.
That's great.
That'd be a great interview for you.
That's so hilarious. Homeland Security talk. All kinds of talk with.
Yeah.
Are you involved? Do you know how many? I was before you came in. I sent you that article to read about that guy that and he. Did you read the article about the algorithm?
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, this guy invented this algorithm. He's a researcher guy. He's just basically a data researcher, and he was investigating, helping these small towns investigate serial killers, and if there was a way to kind of basically pattern and kind of so catalog what like the what am I trying to say here? What makes
their MO?
Their MO basically.
Yeah. So what they would do is take the crime stats over a course of 10 or 15 years and see what the trends are, and you do that by seeing what the weapon was used,
duct tape, that kind
duct
of thing.
tape,
Knife,
tools of the crime, knives,
strangulation,
and the MO. He grabbed a prostitute, threw him in the van, killed her,
right?
or
High
threw
school
the
girls,
van.
prostitutes, like all these stats, and this guy would compile all these, and at the time he wondered if police agencies or nationwide were using this type of a system kind of to catch or kind of profile serial killers. And he found out, he goes, like, nobody, like a lot of police stations, little smaller police stations, like in Des Moines, Iowa, and Dallas and all that stuff. He went to a lot of police stations. They weren't really,
they weren't communicating with each other. There was
a lot of communication with each other.
So the same type of murder could happen in one town and then the next town.
One town over, right?
But they wouldn't talk to each other and realize that maybe we have this serial killer, same guy doing this.
Serial killer.
It's like Moneyball for serial killers.
That's what he said, right? The breaking down. He brought that kind of
the stats.
The stats from the Moneyball movie about how just kind of, if you just kind of figured out what this guy was good at, what what time and night they were working.
It wasn't so much so you can predict, but it was just more where everybody can communicate together and find out, or was it about prediction? Were you able to predict off of his?
Well, there weren't any predictions, but if you get enough evidence together from enough crimes, then you could have a pretty thorough readout on who this guy is, like or gal.
Hey,
listen, I'm not sexist, man.
Right.
I'm not sexist.
But then but in the article too, he kind of brought up the bigger cities, and he's, LAPD was one of the cities he brought up, and he said that, overall crime is down, and the cold cases, right? There's a lot of that stuff. He was talking about the cold cases, and that's what interested him anyway. That's how this guy kind of got his name out there. He was trying to help with some cold cases.
Yeah, Zodiac. He's looking for the Zodiac killer.
Oh, that's still haven't found that guy?
No, that's
Black Dahlia.
It's Jake Gyllenhaal, right? Isn't that the Zodiac killer?
Yes, it is.
Right. Yes, it is. Yes,
he's also the Nightcrawler. He's also LAPD officer. Gyllenhaal's been a lot of things.
Yeah. So Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko, right? Do you have time to explain that movie to me? You said you're always going to explain that thing to me, right? What is the Donnie Darko movie about?
I have no clue. Some kid has nightmares, and then the rabbit comes, and then the plane crashes. Yeah, why'd the plane crash? Did he predict the plane crash?
And then his girlfriend that gets run over with the car at the end?
Yeah,
the Halloween outfits?
It was a rad film. It was visually stunning, but nobody could ever get it. And then the same guy, what's his name? Kelly? Something Kelly? He directed another film with The Rock in it right after that.
Oh, The Rock? Or
The Rock, as in
Dwayne.
The Rock Johnson.
A-Rock.
Yeah.
I don't. What movie was
star?
A-Rock from Hawaii. He's Hawaiian. Is that racist?
No. Did they call someone Hawaiian?
I don't know what the young kids are calling him nowadays, but I call him Hawaiian still.
But anyways, I was asking, do you the LAPD, the cold case department and crimes? I mean, in violent crimes. Do you guys? Is the city? Are we a safer city today?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at crimes, so there's some tricks done statistically. So there's less people in the 50s with about the same amount of crimes as there is today. Now there's more people with more crimes, but the percentage increase in crimes isn't matching the percentage increase with people. So for as many people that are in LA, city of LA, how many? 4 mil? Now, that's a lot of people together. The crimes are not as bad as you'd think. I mean, compared to other big cities, we're doing stellar. Chicago, it looks like hell.
Right.
They're having a hard time right now.
They're having a really tough time. New York.
Why do you think someone like Chicago? I mean, the violence it's crazy, and there's a lot of guns and a lot of young kids and gangbanging and drug use. Yeah. But how do you fix a city like that? I mean, with so much, there's such a division between.
I think the word is time.
The police force and
there is time. I think
just time.
You know what? From what I understand, that mayor and that police department just don't like each other. The police department feels like the mayor's selling them out and willing to do anything for a vote. It's easy to go call cops racist, murderers, and all these other things when you see one incident over a course of a year after 1 million contacts with people. So I think when we looked at it, less than 0.1% of all our contacts in the city, over 1 million contacts, turned into a deadly use of force. So that's not bad. Yeah. Those are really good stats for us. I'll come back next week with the exact stats. I come back, it's like 1 out of 2 people are shot dead by LA. I was wrong last week, boys, about what I said. Remember that part?
Remember that part of the show?
Yeah.
I have
look to your left, look to your right. Every one of you will be shot by a Los Angeles Police Department.
I've been saying for a while, and I don't know if this stat is true, but I've been saying that, I mean, this is going to be different. I'm going to talk county, not city, but
Okay.
somebody gets shot every day in LA County. And this includes the city.
Okay.
If nobody
Shot by a police
just
officer.
shot. Just
Got it.
somebody gets
Oh,
shot.
yeah.
If they don't get shot, if somebody doesn't get shot that day, 2 people will be shot the next day. Is that stat about right? Or somebody gets shot every day
How
in
do
LA
you
County?
do the math on that one?
Yeah,
I
I
think.
think
Well, hold on. I do this job like a lot,
Right, so what do
pretty
you think?
well. So I'm listening to scanners. I hear somebody being shot all the time or every day, but I don't listen to scanners every moment. So
Right.
I've done a little bit of Howard Stern math in my head, and I believe a lot of people get shot every day.
Yeah. So they can't say somebody gets shot every day. They have to look at.
I know I can though.
Yeah, you can.
And
You
I
could
did.
say that. So you could actually have a log. This would be an interesting thing for you to do. So if you listen to LAPD scanner only, you could say I listen from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. Every day, write a hash mark every time somebody gets shot or shooting in progress. And you'll find out, you could look at that on an Excel spreadsheet and calculate the percentage of shootings. Like, or do they go up in the summertime or do they not? That's part of auditing.
The
We get
answer
to
is yes.
see. Yeah, you know it is because people are outside and the sun's out longer.
But no, that was
So they take that stat as what they do is they capture statistically how many people are shot, like gunshot wounds at hospitals and through the Department of Justice and things like that. Because, there's a doctor that has to report on that, and the police are there to report on that. So they take those reports over the course of the year. So on Friday nights, 4 people get shot, but during the week, nobody gets shot.
but it averages out.
But
And
averages out to
Yeah.
365 people a year will be shot.
absolutely.
Or one
I
person
hear it.
shot twice. Would that suck?
Does that happen? Yeah, sure,
course
that
it
happens.
does.
Right?
Yeah. Would you hate to be that guy? What about
There must
No,
be a
not
reason
again.
why. I mean, if you're getting shot, twice on 2 separate
Ah,
occasions, there
it's
must
awful,
be a
dude.
reason.
Yeah, the gun violence with these kids is
It's pretty gnarly.
It's
It
awful,
is,
man.
It is gnarly.
It's-
I mean, they don't. It doesn't even make the news now. That's how normal it is.
it's ubiquitous. It's just part of the day, and that's what Chicago's having a big problem with. It's gun violence, and they're a gun-free zone, but they still have guns. So how
Sure
does
they
that?
are.
Do you believe in the gun-free zones? Would you?
No.
No. You think?
Absolutely
you
not.
Think
I'm
we'd
not
be-
even a gun guy, and I don't buy it.
Yeah, you got. I know you have guns.
I have a gun.
No, okay. We used to have guns. So you're telling me that you think that we're safer if people have firearms, the good guys that have guns? Would you kind of live in that kind of?
I don't know. You know what? That social experiment hasn't been done outside of like Arizona or Texas or some of those places. So we'd have to ask them. We don't really talk about that. Do they have a significantly less crime rate because
People are carrying.
open carry?
They feel it better when they walk outside. Don't
They
you?
do.
You feel
And
a little more comfortable.
You know
a little
what?
more
I mean, it's.
safe.
I would. If you're in a movie theater and somebody starts breaking out with a gun, I hope the guy next to me has one.
Well, you have
Because-
one at that movie theater. You normally have one,
Right, but there's not a cop at every movie, every showing, every theater.
Right, but you carry yours mostly where you go day to day. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Even when you're off duty, you carry
Yeah.
it day to day. Right.
I do.
So you.
Or when
so
you're doing interviews.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Who knows? So you are, like you said, then you are that guy that is possibly in a situation where something like that would arise. You knowing that you're holding, that
Right.
you're carrying, that you could prevent that from getting any further down the road.
Yes.
Or you would try to
Yes.
anyway.
Here's the rub to it, though. I am confident in my firearm. I practice a lot. I'm decent at it. I know it forward and backward. I know what to do. I know what a combat situation looks like. So there is that. The only thing I would want people to know is how to use their weapon. Because if you just, if you're my wife and you grab the gun and you're like, what's this? And pow, 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 pow. That's not good.
Sure.
That puts civil liabilities on you and all this other stuff. So I wonder how they're doing it in other states. I don't know how well it would work here because we are so, like the Los Angeles Police Department is pretty hyper vigilant. They are on top of it.
Yeah.
So a guy walking down the street with a firearm is going to get taken down. Unless everybody.
Not necessarily.
You guys didn't call the police when you should have.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh
no! Do you know about the? I mean, obviously, I talked. Did you know that night that those 2 kids went out in the full army fatigues with long guns in Inglewood?
Yeah.
Did you know that I was like right there on the front lines with those guys?
I did not know that.
Oh yeah. You should see. Wait, it's got to pull up, man. This is some crazy shit, man. At first, I got to tell you, Jay, I was apprehensive to get involved with this, but
Actually, I'll explain to him why Inglewood PD did nothing. You tell him why Inglewood PD did nothing.
well, this is what only I heard from another cameraman. This is why this
Who was
happened.
interviewed by Inglewood PD.
And as a young policeman, I've been trapped in the same situation.
What do you mean?
So it was Wilshire and Western. There was a guy walking down the street with a shotgun, and you could tell the shotgun was, open.
Racked.
It was racked.
Yeah, but did he look like that?
No, he didn't. That's heavy, man.
Believe that?
That's me with that guy. That's me standing next to him.
Todd's recording him. Todd's talking.
You're a hero, Todd.
No, watch this.
The motherfucking 92. Fuck that. Because that's what they doing. Hurry up and kill them. Harvest they fucking organs. That's what they did. That's what they did. Fucking train my organs. Why didn't they come and
Basically,
talk?
this guy is.
What was he saying?
He is emphatically stating that LAPD are fucking killers. That you guys don't give a fuck about his babies, their mamas, and they're basically got their boot on their neck, and he's saying that you guys are basically they're killers. You guys are your department's killers, and you guys
Right.
don't give a shit about any of us in the inner city, and so he's going on and in this particular area, he's like right. He goes, if this was going on in Beverly Hills,
And
he
these
goes,
guys are watching this whole time. Here's Inglewood PD watching.
yeah, this is Inglewood PD on the perimeter of what's going on. This is actually my first shot when I found out what's going on about where this guy
Right.
this guy's pointing his gun at nothing, absolutely nothing. The area where it's going on is blocks away.
So the reason why they're not doing anything,
Yeah.
they have a football stadium coming in, and they're not going to ruin it.
Well, no.
Oh, boy,
what I heard was what they told.
That's absolutely true, Scott. I'm gonna write that down too. Move to Inglewood.
They
Moved to
They were
Inglewood.
so happy when they came into your city. When they went out of Inglewood and walked across into your city and then drove, more into LA.
Yeah, that's it.
Inglewood's like, thank you.
Adios,
Thank you.
muchacho.
Postcards, everybody.
And there's another dude coming. So 2 of these dudes show up.
Yeah, so there's 2 of these guys walking around, and
This is
basically, the reason why, Jay, I kind of feel a little comfortable is that this guy was ranting and raving.
Look at that.
He was ranting and raving with.
Walking down the street.
Yeah, this is Crenshaw in 104th.
Who's homeboy on the bike?
That's I think that's another. He's another. What do you call him?
I know who he is. He's somebody. You know who he is too, actually.
Anyway, he's
been
one of those-
talked about.
Yeah, we can talk about that guy off
He's
air.
from the South Bay.
All right.
He's what you would call, I guess, he's another fellow.
Well, how about this? How about I start a little outfit like this, boys, and I hire him, and we go head to head. We find out who gets better footage.
Well,
Go ahead.
See,
you're
all
going to
you're
be out of a
doing is
job real
you're
quick.
getting the back of this guy's head, and he's right next to him.
no, I'm right next to him. Look, I'm almost in this guy's backpack. Look,
What's in his backpack? by
more
the way?
weapons, more weapons.
ammunition.
Gosh, I wish he would have shot you.
No. So listen, I was.
What did you just say?
I was.
Yeah, that would be a cool. That'd be like, pow, you're like, and then you got the camera like a GoPro facing you, and you just go.
But he doesn't
you do
mean
it?
like he doesn't mean like that, folks. He's like movie type shooting. Like the whole thing be dramatic.
Oh
like,
no! I want you dead.
Want me dead?
I'm kidding. I don't want you
but
dead. I love you. I love you.
I was.
So here's his buddy.
Okay.
His buddy
Same,
just showed
same
up.
thing. So this is the same kind of protest. This guy they have long guns. They're out walking around in fatigues.
Yeah. So now you see the spotlight on him from the airship. That's
Right.
The airship's going on. But Inglewood PD is out on the outskirts. And what I heard is that Inglewood PD did not want to get involved because of they're waiting for LAPD to show up and help them out with this because they do have that nice big stadium coming in, and the less homicides and confrontations that they have, I guess,
The less they're in the news.
the better the city's going to look on an overall appeal once
So-
that stadium.
Inglewood mayor goes to the chief of police. They have a closed door meeting. They get together. They go, look, you better tell your boys. I don't care if there are 2 armed gunmen walking down the street in the middle of the night.
Do nothing.
You do nothing. I want you to stand down.
Stand down.
And the chief says, sir, yes, sir, and they shake hands and they laugh maniacally.
Right.
And then he goes to the roll calls and says,
look at him, Jay. So this guy's on the phone right now with 911, and he is emphatically screaming to them, going, "You don't give a fuck about us." He's like, "If you guys aren't coming in to tell us we can't do this," and this guy kept fucking going on about the Fourth Amendment, the right to bear arms, the First Amendment. This guy was rattling off all kinds of shit, and I asked him
if that gun.
Carry legal weapons to protect our people.
Are you back from service?
I'm still in service.
I hear you.
Oh, technically. We are policing our neighborhoods. We don't want these old fays in our shit.
Yeah.
I hear you and your partner. How long you guys been home from service?
Been home for a minute.
Yeah, so Todd's walking with these dudes.
Yeah,
that's heavy, Toddy.
Yeah, it was crazy at first. Like I said, I was afraid. I was a little afraid at first, but then I realized that these guys were really had their argument was with the police department. So I figured I didn't think they were gonna shoot me or but it could have went bad because then after we did have LAPD detectives come and talk to Scott and I at the house about this incident, and they were kind of, they told me like, it wasn't very smart. I get what your job is, and I know that's how you guys make your money and all that. He goes, but this situation could have went really bad, really fast. And I didn't disagree with him. I'm just saying that I kind of realized within the first 15 minutes I was standing there, that their biggest problem they had was with you guys.
Yeah, it wasn't him. It was you, Jason. They had a problem with you.
But this went on. So check this out. So this goes on for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Don't do this again. Don't stand next to these guys like this again. I don't want. Just don't.
I know.
Listen, I'm not asking you.
No. You're telling me.
I'm telling you,
Jay. Just
they could have taken you hostage.
No,
it could have got.
No, I know.
Taking that guy hostage.
Look at him. His perfect hair.
Right? I mean, they get a lot of money from me, right? You right? You get a lot
How much do you think?
No, you know what? I would ask Jason to come down.
The guy's like, we are not releasing the hostage unless we get $4 million.
Listen,
and then you just hear laughing, and we're like, wow.
No, Jay, I know, right, Jason? If I asked you to come down and negotiate me out of this, you'd be the one to come down and negotiate me out of this situation?
Yeah,
for sure, right?
Absolutely. I'd throw the cell phone across the street to the guy. He'd grab it. Yeah.
Yeah, we want the $4 million, the full $4 million.
And then I'm like, I can't give you $4 million. We got $12, almost $13 between us.
Look,
and the guy's like, I'll take it.
Look, is Todd okay? I need to know. I need the proof of life. You're like, I know he needs hair gel. I'm gonna slide you some hair gel across the street, okay?
Exactly.
And give that to him.
And when he's done putting it on, give him a good shot to the gut with that rifle butt. Make him know you're serious.
This guy, he was the scarier out of the two. This guy.
Yeah, he doesn't look stable.
Yeah, he was. I mean, and look, and then the people down Crenshaw, up and down driving, like this got crazy. And listen.
We fearless.
What is that, sick people? You can't police our own kind? When these old fake faces do that all the time, they're heroes. How can we police our own kind in our own land? Remember, it's stolen. It's black.
So do you know how this thing ended, Jason? Do you know?
No.
So these guys got into a car. They were right
after about 2 hours.
Yeah, after being interviewed by multiple cameramen.
Channel 5 got down there. Channel 4 got down there.
So then they got in their vehicle and drove to.
That's Channel 5 Mike right there, the guy in the beard. He works for Channel 5.
They got in their vehicle and drove to the valley, to their very nice gated community.
Right. Oh. They weren't even in. They're not from Inglewood.
They just drove down Crenshaw to make some business, and then they went to their gated apartment. At this point, LAPD found out where they were. They surrounded and they followed them. And about 2 hours later, they did a felony stop and took them in custody with those rubber bullets that you were talking about.
Right.
Got them right in the face. I don't have that. I'd have to go to the other footage.
Yeah, the one that
I went home. I mean, by the time all the helicopters and all that, because Todd started it, and then once he started following it, I caught him right at the 10 and the 405, and I said, I got it. You feed your footage, because we had competition.
Yeah.
So I went and finished the rest of it. This is my footage now. I finished this part when Todd sent out the first, and I'm like, no, you don't need to come out here. So I finished it, but all the helicopters came, all the ground crews came, and I'm like, well, what am I doing?
That's
here?
heavy, man.
I'm going to go home. So eventually, about a couple hours later, daytime came, and they took these guys into custody.
Yeah. It's a strange thing. I mean, I'm not too well versed in the law. I should be, but for a while, at least I knew that an empty rifle can be carried about. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Hence rifle racks in cars and things like that.
But when we got interviewed, I was checking out the gun. The dude had a full clip. The guy had a clip in there. Yeah, I know he had a fire on his sidearm on his belt there.
And he did ask the detective when they were interviewing us, was it loaded? And they both said, yep.
Yep, it was loaded. So the dudes had live ammunition on them, and so that's the thing
that changes the game.
That's back to what we were saying, like Ellie, how this got started. You can't just carry a gun down the street and get away with it. Well,
or can you?
Or can you? Because these dudes, they got arrested eventually, but
right. So we got to get to the bottom of that. Why didn't Inglewood PD do anything? But once again, maybe they were just letting them cool off. Maybe they knew they were having a protest moment, and they wanted to let them protest.
Those two guys did call and say they were on their way down there to protest whatever it is they were protesting. They were
calling it a protest. They were calling it a protest. They said this is a peaceful protest. But when you're in full army fatigues and you're carrying long guns that do have live rounds in it, you also think
multiple people when you hear protest, not two dudes.
Everything revolves around reasonability. Everything. You hear stories about this cop shot this dude for no reason. Well, it's not usually no reason. I can almost promise you that. It's almost usually no reason. What happens is if a police officer pulls you over and it's the middle of the night and you're scared and he's like, keep your hands on the wheel, is it reasonable for you to start reaching under the seat and going in the glove box and telling him to fuck off? Telling her to fuck off?
Telling them?
Yeah, telling them to do whatever. Go pound sand. That is not reasonable. A reasonable person would not do that. Reasonable people like you, Scott, and Todd, and the others would not reach under the seat for anything if a cop was screaming at you to keep your hands on the wheel. Now, you have every right to sue that police officer or complain about that police officer if you feel your civil rights were messed with. But at that moment, just do what the cop says, and
you can figure things out later.
I promise you, it'll end up good.
Right,
or unless you have a warrant or whatever.
Right, it's going to end up not being. Someone's not going to get shot. But like you said, it's
right.
That's what happens is people get heated up in the moment, and they're like, "You don't have a right to fucking pull me over.
Right.
You don't have a right to talk to me like this."
Everybody's a lawyer.
Everybody's a lawyer. Everybody knows this
Especially
or that.
With their phones now.
But what they don't know is what the cop has heard prior. This guy in a red flannel shirt driving Miata, Peach Miata.
Was last seen southbound.
Right-hand drive, by the way. He got it from Europe.
Right.
So, driving down the street, just tearing it up. And we
fit the description.
Yeah, fit the description. And we pull you over, and then you're like, hey, why'd you pull me over? I'm just cruising my Miata.
Top down.
What's up with that?
Right.
You could be pissed off, and you could start going to the seat or getting out of the car and, getting in their face. But what he knows or she knows is that you committed a crime or are about to commit a crime. Right. So it's touchy. It's scary, dude. And, all they do with cops, all they do with us is show us videos one after another of cops getting shot, cops getting in fights, cops getting beat up, all this stuff in the name of officer safety and training. So you see that all day. There's a form of, and I don't want to marginalize or diminish people that go to war and, our brothers and sisters that come back with PTSD. They got it in a short amount of time. We have this extended version of it. You know what I mean? Day in, day out, over the course of 12 years, reading reports that have rapes and robberies and murders and mayhem all the time.
Stick-ups, 211s, all that good stuff.
Right.
Yeah, when you were talking about physical shape, I was gonna bring up mental shape. So what mental shape do you guys end up with, or how do you end up on the right side of it instead of on the bad side of it?
There's always a push in the department to say, hey, go see. We have in-house psychologists at behavioral science section. Officers have to go see them when they get in a shooting or a major use of force to make sure that everything is okay. Hey, you're going to be okay. I hope you're okay.
Officer-involved shootings, you always have, after an officer-involved shooting, you guys always have to go and talk to
a psychologist.
A psychologist officer.
Correct. So they are also free to use for us anytime. I'm going to have to see one today after this because you guys are making fun of me and my mustache.
No one's doing that.
No, you are. I know you are.
We're going to call the Coast Guard and make sure that thing's on the up and up when you're gone.
Go ahead. ahead, Todd. I don't care.
We're gonna.
No, wait, don't.
Don't.
Get on that phone.
So do you ever go see the psychologist?
I have, yeah.
Yeah?
You know, when things got heavy for me, you know, after a divorce, I was like, I don't know. Am I okay? Like, what's going on? I need to figure some stuff out. And just talking to somebody once or twice really helps.
Absolutely.
You could compartmentalize
do you
some
think,
of your
do you
issues.
think the police department, do you think enough guys are, you know, do you think enough of them are using that?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. It's never bad, and there is no stigma to it anymore. It's not like 1960s America anymore. You get to go see somebody. You don't have to.
Yeah, we should go see someone. We should all go talk to somebody at times.
It never hurts.
Right.
No, it doesn't. Do you know how many officers are in your force?
10,000?
Yeah.
Is that right?
10,000 strong?
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I wasn't
I
questioning
thought you
I was
had
asking
the answer,
Write
Scott.
that
I don't have the answer. To the
Write
internet.
that down. How many officers?
To the internet. Terry?
30% female. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Was that what I said?
No, that's what you. Is that what I said?
I
That's what
think you said that, sir. And I don't know if you're right, but I will find
No,
out.
it's all this double talk. See, you cops are good at this. Going, oh, what did you say? What did you say?
What do you mean by you cops? Like you Arab cops?
No.
That ain't cool either, bro. Write that down. Islamophobe. Is that a word nowadays?
It is a word. It's a word used a lot these days.
I'm not Islamic.
No.
But I know you fear them, so.
No. What? No.
10,000 police officers in 2015.
There you go.
Thank you.
Terry
Welcome.
with the
And they're
Terry
about
with
to
the
add
stats.
some more. Because of
Are they? Who?
Well, the new transit.
No, they're not going to get any more, but they're going to
Start.
they're going to start filling in spots from other
Gotcha.
places.
You don't
Which
think,
I think
you don't think
good.
they'll hire more?
I
because
hope
of it?
they do. I hope they do. It just, that stuff is always a year behind. So we'll have empty spots for a year before we can get the funding for the next batch of police recruits to come in specifically for that or to start their own division.
How many in a class do they take out of the training academies by year to year? Do you know?
You know what? I've seen classes as small as 30 and some as big as 96 or something like that. So
Right.
it depends on what they have funding for and what they're pushing.
Is the academy still up on the Chavez Ravine? Is that where?
Yeah, Elysian Park.
Elysian Park. Is that where? Is that a training facility?
It's a training facility. So the recruits first start out at Amundsen Recruit Training Center, ARTC. Is that what it is, Scott? Why can't you tell me?
He knows I don't know.
No, he knows everything. I know he does. And that's down in.
Well, I do have the internet in front of me.
How dare you not use that during the interview? And that's down in Westchester by the airport. So they start there. They start training there in classroom time and learning the job. And then I think the second half, they go up to the academy in the valley. Man, then 3 different places. Then Elysian Park. It's been too long.
I got a
22
question.
years.
I've been wanting to do this. I just remembered something I wanted to do. All the code talk. When you guys are running down license plates.
Right.
Can you do your ABC? Can you do your ABCs all the way through?
Oh, how dare! I haven't done this in years.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go. Do it.
Adam, Boy, Charles, David, Edward, Frank, George, Henry, Ida, John, King, Lincoln, Mary, Nora, Ocean, Paul, Union.
Come on.
Queen.
You said Queen
You
twice.
went from
Where
Paul
P-
to Union. You went from Paul to Union.
Paul, Queen, Union.
No.
What?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L,
You
M,
have to sing.
N,
OP, Ocean, Paul.
Ocean Paul.
Q.
Queen, Union.
No.
No.
Q,
Queen-
R.
Q, R. Why am I going to you?
What is R?
Robert.
Robert.
Sam.
Tom.
Tom.
Is it Tom?
Is
Is
it Tom?
That doesn't
doesn't sound right.
Can you get them to start using Todd? Can we?
What is
Write that down.
Right. Can we get the
Tom.
department?
Union. Young? Is it Young? Or what's Y?
Young, Victor, Zebra. Look at me.
What's the X? What's the X?
X-ray.
X-ray.
God, I missed like 10 letters. Is it too early, or am I just not
you-
smart?
No, you are
like
now fired
you
from the
guys.
LAPD.
Were you using the Arabic alphabet? Were you? I don't know.
All right, Trump. Is he president? Did he actually win?
Yeah, I think he
It's
did.
weird when you see him on TV. You're like, "There's Donald Trump." You don't be like, "There's President Trump." I just think it doesn't work. I just keep going like, "Look, there's Donald Trump."
Donnie T.
Yeah, I still have a hard time putting the president in between it sometimes. I guess it's like you said, it's just kind of
just
weird.
known him
right?
as
Yeah,
Donald Trump.
Donald
Yeah,
Trump. Yeah,
that's bizarre times.
All right,
we
so
live
that's
in.
a great way to end this podcast is with Donald Trump. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
No.
set the place on fire and then leave.
We do have to wrap it up, so I'll let you guys wrap it up here.
No, but that was right. That was great. I've been thinking about that sitting in the car working at night when they run in license plates, and I was like,
Right.
I wonder if Jason could do the alphabet and remember what he had to do, because that's a lot of your basic training, right? When you're going through academy, you got
to learn all that stuff.
You got to learn
right?
all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I try to speak English as much as I can on the radio, but they need to know those letters for the alphabet.
I just know that I would be in like, if I had to either report back the license plate or get it fed, I'd be like, fuck, what is the R again? Like, what is the R again? Like, I'd lose it.
Roxanne, Charlie, Zircon.
Just making it. Zaxxon, Roxanne. Yeah. I would use old video games like, Zaxxon, Galaga, Pac-Man,
Zelda.
Yeah, Asteroids.
Zelda
Oh, that's a
Union
good
5.
game. See if you could do that all the way through.
We all did.
You guys are the best.
I mean,
I love this little thing you
like
got
in
going
fifth
on,
grade.
by the way. I like this little gig.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was wondering what you thought about all this.
I love it. Look at this place, man. It's right on the money.
Yeah.
Professional.
Well, yeah. Professional.
Who would have thunk it, right?
I would have.
I remember an old story that had to do with Officer Jason here. Todd and I were doing a photo shoot, and it was on the weekend. And usually when I get an idea in my head, I repeat it a lot. So I was repeating that idea a lot, and by the time, I don't know, morning came, Jason's like, enough about the photo shoot. I've heard it enough.
Right.
The good news is we followed through and we did it.
We did the photo shoot.
We
What was it?
It was the XXX photo shoot at Kurt's
With the
dad's
hot
dad's
girls.
place.
With the hot girls, yeah.
All
Kurt's
right.
dad place. But yeah, I remember the idea came while we were hanging out, and like I said, I repeat my ideas a lot. So
Scotty, you're a champ.
But we followed through. That's what I'm saying.
Do you guys still have the invisible coffee table?
What was that? 99?
No, we don't have the
That
invisible
was
coffee table.
99. So 99 we were playing with
99.
that crap, and here we are 17, 18 years later, still playing around. A little different though.
Look, it doesn't hurt if you guys call me and want a beer every now and again.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
Are you allowed to drink? Yeah, we can get a beer or two in you.
I mean,
Right? Firearm on the side, on the table.
it would be off duty.
Off duty drinking.
Utilizing an Uber or Lyft or taxi cab.
What's your preference on that?
I like Lyft.
You like the Lyft?
I do. Uber's like, everybody's into Uber, man. I'm not. I'm a contrarian, baby.
Right. It was such a big, it just giant monster that jumped into the scene. So I picked that up on you. You're like, let's use the Lyft. They seem like they're the guitar players,
Right.
of the not the
Not the
Uber,
lead singer.
or Uber's like the lead singer. Do you still?
They're this, not this, baby.
Do you still play guitar?
I do.
When's the last time
I
you
just
picked
got
up?
an electric guitar too, because I sold off all my stuff because life. I needed a surfboard.
Another surfboard, you mean?
Another surfboard, one for every condition.
Right.
I know what you're talking about.
You dig it, right, Scotty?
So when's the last time you
I
played?
think I got 3.
I played last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stood in front of the computer.
Do you still talk to any of the guys? What's the name of the band? North South? Is that
North
the name?
End? No, I haven't talked to those guys in an age. Everybody kind of went their own way, doing their thing.
That was a good band. I saw you guys a handful of times. You guys,
We did it.
You guys did a lot of good
Weird
jams.
thing watching 19-year-old girls jump around with little backpacks singing your songs.
I don't think that. I don't.
Yeah, they were hot, dude. They were all over me. Remember?
No.
Yeah, dude. There was hundreds of girls. What?
Hundreds of them.
Do you remember? I got in the limo and you had to push everyone off.
Yeah,
That was
the limo.
really.
I remember it all.
Which was a Honda Civic,
But,
and there were no girls. But that's what I remember.
Jason, I really appreciate you coming in, dude. Let's do this again soon.
Thanks, Toddy. I
Yep.
would love to.
All right.
Boys,
Thank you, everybody.
Scotty, and the guys.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Was that good? Did you guys have fun?
Thank you so much, dude.
Scotty, thank you. That was good. Being an LAPD officer means to me that I get to help people in ways that nobody could imagine. When you are at your worst, you get to see a police officer there, come to protect you, protect your family, help you through a tough time, or take you to jail when maybe you need it. People's lives have been turned around from one night in jail, or getting arrested drunk driving. These kind of things are no accidents, and I think the universe gets to use us as police officers to mentor or, even minister to some people that are hurting and going through this tough time. But we are necessary.